What is up, cats and kittens? Welcome to what number are we on? 23, the 23rd episode of the Super Magic Show. Been looking forward to doing this one for a while. I actually have a very special guest going to join me here in just a moment. It is episode 23. It's kind of a bonus Super Magic Show like the one I did last night. But we're going to have a good time tonight because Dragon Ball Daima episode 19 aired today, and people were talking about it all day pretty much. I know some of the streaming services, I didn't hear it crashed like it did last week, but I did hear some of the streaming services were very slow. I do not know if it did crash or not. I just know that I got a copy of the episode and I was happy. So there are other ways of getting these things besides using streaming services. So I hope y'all are having a good day today. And we'll talk all about Daima, and we'll talk all about everything. And of course, we're answering your questions. Super chats get priority. But let me go ahead and bring in my guest. So when I first started doing YouTube, right? The first guy I met and I collabed with was this dude, right? Before I met anybody else, this is the first guy that I collabed with, and I want to bring him in I want to bring him back. I haven't had him on the channel in quite some time. We used to do a bunch of videos together back in the day. Then he just got sick of YouTube, which I can't blame him because I get sick of YouTube too, but I do enjoy it. Now he's back, and it's our first time working together since, goddamn, 2023. But we still talk, just not publicly. Anyways, if you're old school, then you'll appreciate this. Welcome back, Super Jayan from Space, Australia. What's up, man?
How you going, guys? Good to be back.
It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. I thought you were going to come back with the alrighty, guys. Remember when you used to use everybody's catchphrase?
Yeah, I like making fun of people. It's fun.
I like making fun of people. It's fun. They're all going to think you're a bully already, bro.
Nah.
So we got a lot to catch up on, man. Obviously, people are already sending their super chats in. I will get to them when I can. But I want to talk to you first and foremost, and I want to talk to you guys about Dragon Ball Daima episode 19. You and I talked, but not that much about Dragon Ball, but I want to talk to you now. I'm glad to have you back. I actually have a surprise for you, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But first, I wanted to ask you, how have you been? The people want to know, man. The people want to know what has gone on in your life, bro, that you're willing to share. You don't have to give everything out.
Just needed a break from YouTube. That's all. I didn't like keeping up with uploading and the pressure of trying to. It gets to a point, and I think anyone who's got a YouTube channel that's had some success, it gets to a point where you hit a certain number of subscribers. For me, it was between 10,000-15,000, where you start feeling a pressure to upload more frequently, and I just couldn't keep up with it with my personal life and my career goals and what I wanted to get done in my personal life. I just had to choose one or the other, and I chose my personal life. I think I'll come back in a more casual manner this time. No pressure, no expectations, just have fun.
Yeah, and it's crazy because me and Quinn talked about this. When I started YouTube and you and I were working together, I was going through what's called the YouTube honeymoon phase, because YouTube is like a relationship. When you first start making videos and you're getting comments and you're like, oh man, I get to reply to these comments and these people are watching me. Then you start growing. Then one of your videos hits. Oh, hey, look at that. Everything's going good. You start. But then, like any relationship, it then gets to the point where you start having issues, and in some cases you want out, or in some cases you want to break, because there is a lot of pressure put on us to upload. So I don't blame you. I will say this though, I was very upset, and I told you this when you deleted your some of your videos, because you had a lot of really good videos that I really enjoyed. There was one video you did where you power scaled Vegeta in the Cell games, and I think you're the only guy to actually make that video. I may have talked about it, but I think you actually made the video. And obviously, my favorite one series that was incomplete was the Dragon Ball Z dub changes, where you went like line by line, looking at like every. And bro, I still tell people this. I wish the video was still up so I can show them evidence. Dragon Ball Z episode 1 had like 47 line changes or something like that. It was some crazy number.
Yeah. Look, if my crypto ever goes crazy and I ever become a multimillionaire, I'll spend all my time analyzing all the dub changes, and I'll do it all the way through 291 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. How's that?
If you want, man. If you want. I mean, if I got rich, I'm out of here, bro. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if Super comes back or not, bro. I'm out of here. But anyways, I do have something for you. So many of you who have been here for a long time, if you've been a long time subscriber, you remember me and Jay had the original Talk Dragon Ball, and we would bring guests on. We talked about what was going on in Super. We talked about some topics from Z, GT. I would open every one of those with a dirty song parody every time. And we parodied, they're still on the channel. We parodied Yu Yu Hakusho. We parodied
Dragon
all
Ball
the every Dragon Ball song got it. And it usually involved you ejaculating into a woman. That's usually what the themes of the. We're all a lot older now, bro, because you realize, Jay, I've known you now for 10 years, bro. I've been on YouTube. 2 weeks is my 10-year anniversary.
I'm not the same man I was 10 years ago. I've grown up.
Right. You still eat pizza, though. I thought you retired from having pizza every night.
Who doesn't? Even people who are on diets love pizza and love burgers. And if you don't,
you're a liar.
You're lying.
Yeah, you're lying. I agree. You just got to have willpower. So because of that, I have prepared a very special song just for you. But by the way, folks, you have not heard this. Jay has not heard this. I made this because Jay was supposed to come on the channel I think 3 weeks ago, but there was a miscommunication with the time zones or something. It's difficult when you're literally across the world, but I made this for Jay and for all of you to entertain you. And the last time we got together, I did a parody of Blizzard because we were talking about the Broly movie.
Yeah.
So are you ready for this?
I'm a little nervous, but yeah.
All right. Well, what's going to happen is we're all going to get to watch it, but we'll be off the screen. I can still see your camera, though. But all right, here we go with the latest song. The latest song from my discography of Dirty J music. Here we go. Root, deep inside her butt, then never call her again. We are messing with hoes, eating dominoes, Brisbane Wonderland. Root, in an Aussie, watch out, some are crazy chicks. If she lets me hit, I'll give her 10 kids, or I'll use my hand. Here comes a new collab with dumb and pervy jokes, songs that make you go, why are they like this? J. Ellie Goulding's in the past, she's in the past. 10 years of rooting cunts. I'm surprised he doesn't have any kids. Hey, everyone. Talk Dragon Ball returns, it has returned. Send me some cash with super chats, and Jay will be nice to you too. I can tell you that I did that on one take, bro.
It's kind of embarrassing for me because I'm just not that person anymore. It's funny as well.
No, you're but that was 90% of our humor from back then, bro.
No, yeah. Look, I've still got a dirty sense of humor, don't get me wrong, yeah.
Yeah, but you're spoken for right now, and you're in a happy relationship, so none of that playing around stuff. As a man, there comes a time when you gotta just Take it easy, bro.
Hey, even through all of my, when I was younger, I never cheated on anyone, and I never would.
Right,
So
me neither.
I'll put that as on the record. So.
Me neither. But yeah, I enjoyed making that because I can't bring you back without coming up with a new song. Now, there's already super chats that people are sending in. I do want to get to them, but I also want to get your thoughts on Daima, the passing of Toriyama. So what I'll do is I'll go through these super chats quickly, and then we'll kind of go back and forth. Of course, you can answer them too. It's obviously people have inquiries and questions and things they want to say. So let's go ahead and let's go start with this one right here from Eric Meinzer. He says, bro, adult S4 Goku made me scream with hype so hard. Best transformation sequence since End of Z for me. I was starting to worry episode 18 was one and done of S4. He's talking about Super Saiyan 4. I watched the transformation about 3 times today, and I'm just going to say this. I think animation-wise, not story, not the coolness of the form, not the power, just animation and art, this was the best transformation in the history of the franchise. Like, it was, I actually think they may have topped on Gohan SS2 just because, like, dude, Yuya Takahashi, who's my age, by the way, he's my age, grew up with Dragon Ball and has always wanted to do a transformation sequence like this, and he finally got a chance to do it on the final project Toriyama began when he was alive. So what did you think about just the animation, just that transformation, bro? I know you have thoughts on Super Saiyan 4, but just the how it looked.
It looked great. Takahashi is my favorite animator. He's amazing. The episode in the Tournament of Power where Vegeta challenges Jiren, in my opinion, that's the best looking episode of the whole Tournament of Power. If I'm not mistaken, he did parts of Broly as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the Vegeta Broly fight, and then the one that I think everybody goes nuts over is Ultra Instinct Goku versus Kefla when he was jumping back and forth. That awesome Kamehameha. Yeah,
I think he's easily the best in the business when it comes to drawing these characters and animating them on screen. I love it. It was really cool to see. On a like design note, the Super Saiyan 4 design, I really like the shade that they use on the fur and the hair. It looks fantastic.
You still prefer the original though, the GT one?
Look, for looks, I think you could go either way. They both look fantastic. I definitely think as a kid he looks a little goofy because his fists look a little too big, and but the adult, they both look great. GT I prefer for execution of story, not for look.
A lot of people, and this, like a lot of people have a negative opinion about GT, but you and I used to talk about this years ago, man. I feel like 80 to 90% of the people that shit on GT have never even watched it. They just heard from their friend it sucks, it's non-canon trash or whatever, and they just assume it's garbage. And I always say, look, it's Dragon Ball. Don't shit on it. Yeah, don't shit on it until you get to at least watch it. At least watch it. Yeah. Watch it all the way through. It's only 64 episodes. And then decide. Then you never have to watch it again if you don't want to. There's things I love about GT.
Yeah, well, Dragon Ball GT, for me, if I hear someone say they can't watch GT because the start or whatever, that to me, then I straight away know they've never really taken an interest in Dragon Ball, because for me, the Black Star Dragon Ball arc and the start of Dragon Ball, the search for the Dragon Balls, is very similar. It's just they've taken elements, put it in GT, and it's in space. So I find it very enjoyable. But, we could go on about that another day. But, yeah, I definitely love GT for the concepts. It's got some fantastic concepts. The overuse of the Dragon Balls, for one, is something that was fantastic.
It came back to haunt them, and I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of GT, actually, now that I think about it, every single arc in GT is based on something that was built up in the past. So Baby being a Sephorian, a.k.a. Tuffle, I fucking hate that word, Sephorian, and he hates the Saiyans, that's stuff that started in the past. before Goku and Vegeta even existed. And then you've got Super 17, which is the combination of Dr. Gero, Dr. Miyu, creating Super 17. And then you've got the Shadow Dragons, which is basically the Dragon Balls having all that negative energy. So GT is almost like consequences of Dragon Ball and Z coming back to haunt them. And I never really thought about that till today,
Yeah. No, I think it's a fantastic series. Like, I know we're not in here to talk about GT and shit on Daima. Daima's great as well. I think Daima has its strengths, the art and animation in Daima, a higher production quality than GT. So Daima definitely looks better.
But there are things that Daima's lacking, though, that GT does.
100%. But GT has its episodes that look fantastic as well. But yeah, definitely GT for the most part looks like it's got Daima has a better production value and quality, and it just looks more like a Dragon Ball series that would be appealing to the masses. So I understand the appeal to Super Saiyan 4 and Daima for sure.
Here's a question right up your alley. Phantom Vibe says, SS4 Vegeta happening? Well, I'm not going to go into the next episode here, but a lot of people seem to want this because Goku got it. But earlier today, you were talking about, you can talk about it now, bro, when you and I had a brief chat about how Dragon Ball has this thing where every time it gives Vegeta a gift, there's a bigger gift for Goku. It's almost like if you have two kids and you have one kid you love more, you give the kid you love least a little, like you buy them like a little, one of those little toy tablets, and then you get the kid that you really love a computer. And that seems to be like the ongoing thing with Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well, look, Vegeta's already got Super Saiyan 4. I made a video the other day about I really dislike the whole, and I'm pretty sure you do as well, the whole canon word. Vegeta's got Super Saiyan 4. GT is official. It's a licensed Dragon Ball product. So Vegeta's already got Super Saiyan 4. But yes, I definitely think, I thought a few weeks ago about 7 weeks ago when Vegeta got Super Saiyan 3 in his kid form, I thought, here we go. Goku's got something better coming in the coming weeks. I didn't think it would be Super Saiyan 4, but yeah. And I don't think he's going to get Super Saiyan 4 in Daima. I did last week. I thought maybe they were going to use the magic on Vegeta this week, and they were going to fuse using the fusion bugs. I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think you can cram all that into one episode next week.
That's the thing, and that's something we're going to talk about a lot tonight is, yeah, man, they have one episode left, and it's only a regular length episode. Therefore, I think a lot of people, I'm just going to say it right now. If you're going into this next Daima episode and you are expecting to have everything explained to you, Super Saiyan 4, anything else, you're not going to get everything explained. Daima will end with either context clues for you to put together or for me to make videos on so you can understand, or some, some things being answered, but not everything. So, because they only have one episode left to do what they need to do to beat Gomah. And then they have to say goodbye to Pansy, goodbye to Gloria, go back to the outer world. So there's a lot left. Like, who's going to run the demon realm? Some say it's Neba. Some say, you know what? Let's do a poll right now. I'm going to ask the people in the chat right now. First of all, make sure you leave a like if you're stopping by. We got 842 people and only 380 likes. That's no good. Let me start a poll real quick. So here's the poll. Who should rule the demon realm? Who do you think is going to be in charge of the demon realm when all is said and done? Is it going to be King Kadon? Is it going to be Arinsu? Is it going to be Glorio? Or is it going to be Neva? All right, so I want you all to vote. I'm curious as far as what you think. Jay, you and I can talk about that when we get more votes in. So yeah. And then Klopp 901 says, why no SS4 Vegeta or Gogeta? Only Goku gets it. Brother, you're asking me a question that only Toriyama and Toei and Akio know the answer to. If you want me to be honest, what was that word you used earlier, bro? Goku has like plot. Did you say plot armor, or was there another word?
Oh, they're just plot devices, like Goku's always gonna.
He's always gonna get everything.
He's always gonna get given the new form. It's kind of like the third eye, Vegeta, for all intensive purposes, beat King Gomah You could say the same thing about Goku the previous week. This third eye, though, is a plot device that just allows him to keep coming back.
The third eye is really powerful, really, really powerful. What do you think about the third eye? Like, are you like as a fan of Dragon Ball, right? You've been a fan like almost all your life. And obviously the big artifacts in Dragon Ball are the Dragon Balls, but now we have this third eye. What do you think about the concept behind having an artifact that powers you up like this?
I think it's kind of necessary for a short series when you've got a villain like Gomah who's not imposing. Obviously, he's got his magic, but if he's not physically imposing, if he can't impose his will on screen, you need some sort of plot device to give him the strength to do it. So I think it's a good choice. And yeah, I have no issues with it at all. Yeah, I guess it's in similar thing to the Dragon Balls or the holy water, used during the Garlic Jr. arc or in the Baby arc, that sort of stuff. It's I like the magical side of Dragon Ball. It kind of takes me back to those magical days of Dragon Ball itself, like
before
Dragon Ball
sci-fi took over.
Yeah. Dragon Ball itself was very magical. Korin had the water as well, and I like those elements of Dragon Ball. So
very old school kung fu. I do too. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for a short series. Earlier today, I was on Twitch and I kind of said that Gomah, because Gomah is basically like a magician version of Pilaf or Babidi, who's also a magician. Then you've got, but when he gets the third eye, he looks like Jiren. I genuinely believe Toriyama did this on purpose. I believe that he purposely made a villain who starts at Pilaf and ends at Jiren, because Toriyama, the thing about him, like him or not, as far as like the way he writes now, I don't think his writing now is as good as it was in his peak years. But one thing Toriyama's always been is self-aware. He always makes fun of himself. When Vegeta says, "Oh, there's a Super Saiyan bargain sale," which he said it in the Buu arc, that's Toriyama making fun of himself for giving the form to people. Like, that's what I like about him, is that he's not afraid to just straight up, like goof on himself. Like, it's almost like he knows that he can be lazy sometimes, and he just makes, and that's kind of a lovable trait,
Yeah. I look, I don't have a problem with the design of King Gomah. I do wish a little bit that he was dressed differently to Jiren. He looked a little different. But, beggars can't be choosers. At the end of the day, I think we're all just happy we've got more Dragon Ball content.
Kiryu the Dragon Warrior says, the episode is cool, but it wasted time. I guess he meant the Vegeta fight went on too long. I get what he's talking about. Now the last ep has to use SS4, the fusion, defeat Gomah, and Daima. So much for one ep is way too much. That's what I was worried about when the Giant episode happened, when those slow episodes happened, episodes like 13, 14. I was worried they were going to cram too much into this final battle. And what I am scared of is that episode 20 of Daima is going to be just, the fusion bug's going to come into play. It has to. It will. And it's just going to be the fusion, and then Gomah loses. And I don't want that, although I think we're going to get that. Because they're only going to have like 10, 11 minutes to finish off Gomah. So... and they have to, there's just a lot. Like, I do understand where he's coming from. And it's going to be a regular length episode. Are you worried about this?
I don't know. I feel like this stuff was all planned, obviously. Daima's had a pretty good schedule in terms of planning and development. So they've had this all planned out for a long time. So I have faith that they'll get it right. I feel like you can wrap this episode up in a bow tie pretty neatly, because at the end of the day, Goku and his friends just need to go back to Earth, and then there
will be unanswered questions, though. Like, that's going to happen.
Most of them, I feel, will be wrapped up. Like, if Goku can't access Super Saiyan 4 after this, I feel like it's easily explained due to the fact that, obviously it's a magical form that's run off, or it can only be used in the demon realm. It's easily explained away stuff. But
Dragon Ball fans want everything spoon-fed to them sometimes, bro.
They do, but yeah, I do get a little confused when people ask questions like, oh, doesn't this mean that Super can't happen after Daima now? Or why didn't Vegeta use Super Saiyan 3 and Super. Like these questions have answers in universe and in real life. Obviously, Daima came out after Super. That's why Vegeta didn't use Super Saiyan 3. But in universe, he doesn't need to because he's got the God form. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand some of the questions sometimes.
And well, tell me about it. But this episode, the fact that Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 wore out and he was like tired, again, you don't have to have everything spoon fed to you. Context clues. They're telling you this form has stamina issues, which we already knew. Now, one thing I will agree with the fandom on when it comes to their questions is that at least we had the guidebooks for so many years. We haven't had a new guidebook in forever, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be explained, like some stuff in Super, some stuff in Daima. Like, I am dying for these assholes to put together a new Daizenshu for us, bro, and I don't know if they ever will. Let me get this. This is a wrestling question, so it's mostly for me. He said, Bellman said, did you get a chance to see the Rock and Cody promo tonight? If so, what'd you think of it? Currently halfway through it. Pause to watch your stream. I'm going to tell you exactly what I thought of it because I wrote it on Twitter. I said the Rock and Cody segment felt like we missed an entire season of television. It was weird. It didn't make sense. Everyone I was watching it with was confused. I'm confused. This is bizarre. And that's literally it. It didn't make any sense. Sleep says, Bulma for real told Vegeta he doesn't step down. No sex tonight. Jay, bro, women weaken knees. What'd you think about the Bulma thing with Vegeta?
Yeah, it's relatable. I think any guy who's got a really good-looking girl can relate to the fact that they can keep us on a leash. You know,
Not me.
They really can. And, you know, there's an element of love. There's an element of love and respect there as well. Like, I think people have to understand there's a funny side to that, which we all enjoyed.
Funny. It was Toriyama.
There's also a respect side. We need to remember Vegeta has respect for Bulma in a different way. He's got respect for, you know, Goku. He's got a different kind of respect. He does love his wife. I think we've seen enough of Vegeta now since Battle of Gods and Super have happened that we can definitively say that Vegeta loves Bulma very much. And he respects her just in a different kind of way.
Yeah, I think people struggle with accepting that he loves her because Vegeta was such a dick for a lot of his life. And I get it. But, I mean, when he sacrifices himself to Majin Buu, and even before then, he talks about how, you know, he settled down with his wife, and he says goodbye to Bulma, Trunks, and Kakarot. Those 7 years after the Cell Saga is when he really got attached to her. So I just think some people think that Vegeta is incapable of love, but I don't think I agree with you. I don't think he's incapable of it. He just shows it in a different way. I can't imagine him being the type of guy who's like cuddly and romantic. He shows it by getting pissed off and wanting to kill Beerus, for example.
Yeah, or if you just look at the way he holds his daughter in Dragon Ball Super, I think
love that.
The proof's in the pudding, you know.
I love it. Luis Nunez says, I can't wait for Nadolny and Sean's take on SS4. I texted Stephanie today, actually, and I was like, it looks like your last episode is 18 because they become adults in 19. I hope you guys have cake and ice cream because I do hope that they have like a little party down there. But you know what? Stephanie got to do Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Daima, and that's cool. And the thing about Stephanie Nadolny, it's no secret. I've interviewed her. She has had some personal demons she's had to fight over. And, you know, she had issues with alcoholism. It's not a secret. But I think everyone deserves a second chance. And she has cleaned her life up. I can tell you right now, for every Dragon Ball Daima session, she has shown up on time, been professional, got it done. That I think people deserve a second chance, and I fucking hate the fact that the internet will crucify you forever. You make one mistake 5 years ago, some dickhead will screenshot it and use it against you for the rest of your life, and it's such immature, stupid bullshit, bro. How long are you going to hang on to something, dude? And when it comes to Stephanie, she actually has worked to improve her life, and I hope people can understand that.
Yeah, I think she's a fantastic kid Goku. I prefer controversial. You can say whatever you want in the comments. I like Colleen's Gohan. I like Colleen's Gohan.
No, I got Yeah.
But because I like the difference between, I like my Gohan and my Goku to sound a little different. And before you jump down my throat, you can tell the difference between Nozawa's Gohan and Goku if you listen to it.
Yeah, listen carefully. Yes.
Yeah, so
and you can tell the difference between Nozawa's kid Goku and adult Goku, especially now.
Yes.
Now that you guys have, if some of you guys have never seen Dragon Ball subbed, which is a crime, by the way, you should turn yourself in for that. But her kid Goku does sound different. She does deepen her voice for adult Goku. I wonder if she'll deepen it even more for Super Saiyan 4 adult Goku.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm really keen to see. I full well that I prefer the sub to the dub, but I will say one thing I've always appreciated about Sean Shammel's rendition of Super Saiyan 4 is the gruffness and the deep voice that he does. I really like that about Super Saiyan 4 in the dub. I'm almost envious because when you are an English-speaking country, you kind of can do those different things with the voices that you can't do in the Japanese dub. So I do really like Shammel's Super Saiyan 4, and I'm looking forward to seeing him do that in a month or two, or about 2 months' time it'll be.
Yeah, the issue with GT has always been the script. It's always been the issue.
100% bad script.
Yes, Diego says, we all want to see Dragon Ball measure up to its almost limitless potential. Like, don't you think DBS could get as big as Game of Thrones was at its peak? Well, I don't know about as big as Game of Thrones, but one thing that I will agree with you on, and Jay and I have actually had this conversation on Skype many years ago, is the fact that Dragon Ball is oftentimes very under-promoted and underappreciated. It's massive. It's one of the biggest anime franchises ever and manga, but I've always felt that if you took Dragon Ball and you aired a good, accurate dub at like prime time, like 8 p.m., that it would be even bigger, dude. You know what? I think Dragon Ball has the potential to be even bigger than it is. And I think Toei is to blame for a lot of it. Shueisha is to blame. And Funimation from back in the day is to blame. I think if a company like Manga Entertainment had got Dragon Ball, it would be even bigger. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Look, I think Dragon Ball is definitely one of the biggest franchises in the world, and I think that's for a reason. Could it be done better? It probably could be, especially on the Japanese side with how they work with the English-speaking countries and the Spanish-speaking countries. All the foreign dubs, they could certainly fast-track that and get that done a little better. But yeah, I think if there is a new series that comes out in the future, yeah, I think they definitely could put it on a primetime slot, you know, and get some more eyes on the show.
What's interesting is Daima is on a primetime slot in Japan now. It's at 10:40 p.m. on a Friday.
Yep.
That counts as prime time for them because there's never been a Dragon Ball show that's aired at 10:40 p.m. That's not super late, but not super early. Yeah. And that's because they didn't want to put it in the Sunday time slot with with One Piece again, because it's not like super.
The Japanese people have always done things differently, and they're always going to do things differently. And I think it's as nice as it would be to have a little more, collaboration with the other countries and getting it out, at the same time as the Japanese dub, or getting it better promoted in foreign countries, because we know Daima wasn't really promoted that well in foreign countries.
Horribly.
Yeah, I think. That's kind of, as nice as that would be. I do think it's wishful thinking. They're very stubborn, a lot of these people that run these companies, and it is the way it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old codgers. Andrew Rodriguez says, Dende bothered me. This fool got rescued, turned back into an adult, didn't even say thanks for rescuing me, and didn't even heal anyone. Piccolo saying how tired they are, but Dende don't care. He's right. Why the fuck didn't Dende heal Vegeta and Piccolo? If he healed Vegeta might have been able to really help out in Super. Maybe we'll see it in episode 20, bro, but what was Dende doing, bro? What the fuck?
I guess I agree with that, but look at it from Dende's point of view as well. He last time he was conscious of what was going on. He was in the heavenly realm on the lookout, Next thing, he's conscious again, and he's in some place he's never been before. There's fighting going on above him. He's probably like, what the fuck is going on here? So he's probably confused.
Maybe he wants Rinsu to breastfeed him. I mean,
hey, just remember, apparently Glins don't have genders.
Yeah, I know. And I said on one of these streams, I'm like, I wonder if she like doesn't have nipples. Like you take off her shit and it's just skin. That would fuck with me, bro.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
I'm sure there's art out there that has the answer, bro. Logan Chitwood, that's the homie right there, bro. He says, thank you for 10 years of consistent Dragon Ball news and content. Thank you for the generous donation. And this dude is jacked, bro. I seen this guy's Instagram. That shot of Goku at the end of the episode where you see his fucking big ass arms and his bicep. This guy's the real version of that, bro. Seriously.
So he's got the physique of a Super Saiyan Goku on planet Namek, or a Goku when he's using the Kaioken against Vegeta.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen him topless, nor am I asking to. But he's got big arms, bro. I really appreciate that, dude. Seriously. Nicholas Wilkerson, what aspects from Toyotaro's AF story do you believe he may adapt into Super now with SS4 having being canon? There's no canon. I've been a big fan of yours for 10 plus years. I remember sending you a DBZ drawing as a kid. First of all, thank you. Second of all, if you are a fan for 10 years, then you definitely remember this guy. Third, I have a video coming out on Monday. All right, it's done. It's ready to go. Where I'm going to go into this idea that me and Uchi talked about Super Saiyan 5, a.k.a. Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct on it. And there is a way they can make it work. I don't know if they will, though. I don't know if they will. There is a way they can make it work. Now with Toriyama no longer being with us and Toyotaro being the only guy that we know of that's going to work on the manga, anything can happen. What do you think? If you have thoughts.
I think anything can happen. I think we've seen with Broly coming back, Super Saiyan 4 and Daima, you can't rule anything out these days. If you had told me 10 years ago that there was going to be a Broly in the what I call the main timeline, you know, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, there was going to be a main timeline Broly, Super Saiyan 4 was going to be in the new series, I would have laughed at you. So yeah, it goes to show that they're willing to do anything. Nothing's off the table. And I'll tell you something about this word canon that's getting thrown around. What about, one of my subscribers said this the other day, and it's food for thought for everyone. Stop using the word canon. Unfortunately, Toriyama's passed away now. So if you're going to use the word canon, anything that comes out now is not canon because he's not creating it. He's passed away. So
that's
stop
one
using
way
the
to
word
look
canon.
at it. Yeah,
stop using the word canon. Everything's canon. You know, there's canon to the anime, and then there's the original manga. Technically, anything that's canon is just the original volumes of the manga, and everything else is canon to the anime. It's all called timelines and different universes.
You know what's
Easy
really weird is people that say that Daima isn't canon when Toriyama's never been more involved in anything anime-wise as far as TV shows go than Daima. I want to go ahead, bro.
I'll just add a point. The people who say that Daima is canon and GT is not are the people that don't realize that, you know, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods was written by someone else, and he came in and made edits to the script and edits to the names of some characters. So by their logic, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods wasn't written by him, so it's not canon. Nothing else that comes out from this point that Toriyama writes is canon. So it's a stupid argument. It really is.
Well, what you just said right there, and I don't want to go too deep into this topic, because now that Daima's ending, I'm actually going to do a canon video finally. The thing about canon is it's very easy to catch someone slipping. Somebody will say Dragon Ball Z is canon, right? And I'll say, okay, so what about Garlic Jr.? Oh, well, that's not canon. Oh, but you said Dragon Ball Z. Oh, yeah, but not that arc. Oh, so you can pick and choose. Yeah, but that's based on a movie that's not canon. Okay, then why is Haya Dragon, a.k.a. Icarus, in the Dragon Ball Z anime if Gohan found him in Tree of Might, which couldn't have happened at any point in the timeline? Like, there's lots and lots of logic holes. And that's what I'm saying is I don't think that's the problem is people throw the word around not understanding that the Japanese don't give a fuck, at least not the people making Dragon Ball. And I'll be honest with you, part of me deep down inside kind of wants Super and Daima to be separate canons so I can reaffirm that there is no canon, even though it's probably not the case. You know what I mean?
Look, what about the one shot of manga that just recently came out? Wasn't a Libu in that, in a statue form? Like,
that was just Toyotaro.
That's a filler character. You can't sit here and say what's canon and what's not. If you want to use the word canon, you stick to the original volumes of manga and leave the subject alone.
That's what I said, man. Stick to the original. All right, Isaiah Alvarez. What if they call the new form Super Majin Goku like Super Majin Raimus because he became a legend in the Demon Realm by beating Gomah? So I think Goku will become a legend in the Demon Realm, or at least respected for sure, because that's Goku. He always gets respected. But I want to show you something real quick here. Take a look at this. All right, now I've been saying this for a few days, but what the fuck do I know? Official Dragon Ball. This is the official look. SH Figure Super Saiyan. What is that? What does that number right there say, Jay? I can't read.
I think that's 4. It says 4, guys.
What? Okay, in the Japanese, what number is that? What is that number?
I can't read kanji, but that looks like a 4.
Jay, this asshole left a comment on my video, and he's like, "You son of a bitch, you're disrespecting Toriyama. It's not Super Saiyan 4."
Yeah, I saw someone earlier in the chat here, and I'm not going to name names because I don't know who it was, but someone left a comment saying it's not Super Saiyan 4. I'm like, well, it is Super Saiyan 4.
I'm afraid it is. Now, it's probably going to be called Super Saiyan 4 Daima, and then GT will be Super Saiyan 4 GT, like for the video games. So when you're going through the character select screen and you want to pick GT Goku or Daima Goku, they'll be different. They'll, like for Sparking Zero, they'll do that. But buddy, official merchandise. This is official SH Figure Arts merchandise, says 4. Now, I'm not saying that to pick on Isaiah Alvarez because I'm not picking on him. It's just that a lot of people have asked about the name of the form. And could they change the name of the form? They could, because they did with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. They could. But as of right now, all we can do is call it Super Saiyan.
Wasn't that a misnaming scheme, dude? Back in the day, it should have been red hair should have been Saiyan God. Blue hair should have been Super Saiyan God.
But you can't do that because you can't do that because Super Saiyan God came out first and it was already named Super Saiyan God.
Just name it Saiyan God though. Like in Battle of Gods, they could have just named it Saiyan God. Like I always thought, because people struggle to wrap their heads around the fact that God Ki in base form, red hair. God Ki in Super Saiyan form, blue hair. People get confused sometimes.
The only way to do that is to get a time machine and go back in time. Like it's you know what I mean? We can't fix that now.
I know.
All right, Rainmaker says, Daima is Liddy. If anyone remembers, we was not getting any more transformations. Now look at the fan service. We not entertained. Thanks, Geekdom. The thing about Dragon Ball is I think we'll always get new transformations because every new thing has a new transformation. Battle of God, Super Saiyan God. Resurrection F, Super Saiyan Blue, Gogeta Blue in the Broly movie. Then we had Rose and UI and Super, and then Superhero gave us Beast Gohan, and now Super Saiyan 4. As much as I love the transformation scene, I'm not saying I don't like it. I've said this before. I do have transformation fatigue. I want, when the story of Dragon Ball continues, if it continues, we don't know when, I want them to put less of a focus on forms and more on techniques. That's what I want.
They could have wrapped Daima up with a Super Saiyan 3 fusion. How long have people wanted to see? Like, I know that the fuse bugs are probably going to look different to Gogeta or Vegeta. We know this, but hasn't everyone wanted to see a Super Saiyan 3 fused Goku and Vegeta? Like, they could have closed it out that way. Probably not going to happen, but yeah, that's how I would have closed it out. Stop making new transformations, but transformations sell toys, and it makes money in DLC for the video game. So
you nailed it, man. I said a long time ago, Dragon Ball has become corporate. It started with just a manga, and Toriyama wrote it, and then it got popular, and then it went all over the world, and now it's become corporate. With or without Toriyama, it's corporate. Let's not forget what I've been telling people. all this shit you're seeing, like Gohan B, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, this is all Akio Yoku pitching it to Toriyama. It's not like he's writing the shit, coming up with it. Like, he's coming up with the story, but he's telling him, this is popular. Broly's popular. Gohan's popular. He was probably the one that told him to give Vegeta Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but
well, thank you for doing that, because I think many Vegeta fans thank you the world over for that. It's a fantastic. It looks way cooler in his adult form, but yes. it was very cool to be revealed in Daima, and I think we're all very happy that he's got it.
And he was a badass. Did we figure out what the title card message is? The red characters. Yes, if you put them all together, it says "Fuck me, please, anyone." That's I said that. That's what I've been. I don't know what the characters say, bro. So that's been my default answer.
It'll probably be something that Holmes translates and figures out.
Okay, Marcosmos says, "Is Vegeta literally pussy whipped now?" You have to answer this question. This is for you.
Man, I don't think he is. I said it's respect. Goku's afraid of Chi-Chi as well. Don't forget that, you know? Goku does what he's told. You know those old UFC interviews where Conor McGregor's there? You do what you're told. That's Goku and Vegeta around their wife, man.
People are going to counter that and say, yeah, but Goku's always leaving his family. Well, maybe that's his escape.
Maybe Goku should die a little less. You know, Vegeta didn't die for 7 years, so.
That's true. Vegeta didn't die for long at all. Like, he died in the Frieza saga and got brought back later that day.
He died for like 10 minutes and then came back.
And then in the Blue Arc, he died for what, 2 days?
Yeah.
3 days? Something like that? Yeah, he doesn't stay dead like Goku. Exeterg says, you guys breakdown of all DBGT home releases helped me so much. I think we did that a long time ago, bro. That takes me back. I watched it like 15 times. I always wondered what happened to Jay. Jay's always been around. It's just that he's like, even doing this was complicated because we're on opposite schedules because he's across the world. And I didn't want to do a 3 a.m. stream, although we could have done a 3 a.m. stream one of these days. Maybe we will. But the point is, he's talking about one of the old Talk Dragon Balls we did. Do you remember this? We went over like
absolutely.
Yeah. Like all the different home, like the Blu-rays, the DVDs. You're the only guy I've ever met who bought Kai on Blu-ray and DVD, and I'm like, there's no need to do that, but you did.
No, there's not. But I'm a collector, you know. But I'll say this. I remember that video, and I really appreciate the feedback there, and I'm glad you liked the video because
yes, me too.
There's no outside of the Dragon boxes or buying Kai, which is even Kai is getting harder to get now. You have to buy it on Amazon or eBay. There's no good releases. There really isn't. The Dragon boxes and Kai are the only good releases, physical releases you can watch. Unless you go to Spain and you speak Spanish and you buy the Selectavision releases, there's no good releases. You know?
Or the French Blu-rays, but they've only got half of original Dragon Ball right now. Yeah, you're going to have to go with Seed of Might, and in order to access Seed of Might, you're going to have to go make friends with Mr. Tory Rent. If you and Tory Rent get along, you'll be good to go. All right, Justin says, I think Mike Tyson should run the Demon Realm. Bro, did you hear that this guy, apparently Mike Tyson had like dementia or some shit like that when he fought fucking Jake Paul? You realize that could lead to a class action lawsuit because you're supposed to disclose any illnesses. Did you watch that fight, by the way?
Unfortunately, I did, but I think I watched it for the same reason everyone else did. I wanted to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out because he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight real boxers. Mike Tyson was a real boxer 30 years ago. He's not a boxer anymore. You know, like
he could barely move.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jake Paul. Yeah, he's pathetic. If he fought one real boxer who's like a semi-professional in Tommy Fury, and he lost that on all three judges' scorecards. Technically, one judge gave it to Jake Paul. He should be sacked. Yeah, I want to see him fight a real boxer again because he'll lose, but he won't.
Do you remember when you sent me that video of you punching the speed bag in the basement or whatever? This is really old.
I really don't know.
I might still have that video, bro. I may still have it. This is the Skype days, dude. This is that. I have a video of Quinn ordering at Wendy's that he doesn't want me to ever release. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just he's ordering like fries and shit, but he's like self-conscious about it. I don't know why, but I have it somewhere. And I also have the video where what was it? Remember that Yu-Gi-Oh video that Quinn did before we knew him, and he tried to convince us that he was from Antarctica, and then I was like, I found the video where he's like, I actually live in Miami. Remember that whole thing, bro?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, he was a bit of a joker back in the day. He tried to convince everyone who came across him on YouTube and became friends with him that he was from Antarctica. It was like, bro, you think we're all born yesterday?
Some people believed it though, back then.
I mean,
you and I didn't.
There are people living in Antarctica, ironically, and they're actually Australian researchers that have set up a base down there. So Australians live in Antarctica.
Yeah, but they're doing it for scientific reasons, not because they like living there. I don't think you would like living in a place that cold. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Angel Roca, do you want Black Frieza next in manga, or would you prefer a new Demon Realm arc? That way SS4 can be incorporated into the present DBS timeline. I just want a new arc that's good. I don't give a fuck if it's Sadala, Black Frieza. I don't give a shit what it is. I just want it good. If they don't do Black Frieza right away and there's another threat and Frieza comes back later, I'm fine with that. If they go back to the Demon Realm, I would love that. I just want something new. And I don't want to go into this rant again, bro, but Shueisha still not announcing a continuation of Dragon Ball is so disgusting and so disrespectful to Toriyama and Nozawa, who's getting older, even though her performance as Goku is still amazing. She's 88, dude. It's so gross that they're not maximizing her before she passes away.
Yeah, it is. It reminds me of Square Enix with Final Fantasy VII and not releasing the remake on Xbox, when by the time they announce a Dragon Ball Super return, some people are going to be like, this is amazing, we're all going to be happy, but there are going to be people who are genuinely going to be like, I don't care anymore. And that's their fault.
I said the same thing the other day. I'm like, people move on with their lives, bro.
Yeah. And it's the same with Remake and Rebirth for Xbox. You know, I play games on PC and I've got a PS5, but by the time they announce that, which is coming, trust me, no one's going to give a shit that Remake and Rebirth are on Xbox because they've had to wait 5 years to get it. So.
Well, Rebirth is on Steam now, right?
It is. That's what I'm playing at the moment, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, yeah.
They need to, like... People on Xbox should probably just use Steam for that kind of shit, I feel.
I know, but yeah,
like you're PC Master Race guy.
Play games whatever you want on, but yeah, don't. I just don't like the crowd who tell me that consoles are better because they're factually not.
Yeah, but you're mostly a PC guy, bro. You've built 100%. PCs. Yeah, like that's your thing. And ultimately, you can do more with a PC. I feel like if you have a PC and a Switch, that might be good enough, but like you said, you would have to wait for Spider-Man and
do you know what sort of back catalog I've got there? I've got like hundreds of games on Steam.
Me too, and they all have deals. Like it's just you can get. I've seen some deals. Like I remember they were selling all the Modern Warfares for like $12 or some crazy. I'm like, shit, just get a good PC. Speed Bunch says, who wins, Golden Frieza, Resurrection F, or Goma?
Golden Frieza easily. Sorry.
I think so, too. J. Arab, thank you for the super chat. And I only say that because of how Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta did so well against him. Jonas said, I wonder how they can link Daima to Super. The only explanation I had in mind is that the Daima could be explored in the multiverse, which would be beautiful but improbable. What do you think about that? I don't know if they're ever going to go back to the Demon Realm. Like, that's the thing. And I've talked about this before. Before Toriyama passed away, I was told that the Daima characters and the story was going to come back later in some way. I don't know if that changed since Toriyama died. I don't know if Shueisha is still holding on to the rights. There's no communication from Japan. When I raise my voice like this, guys, I see some people, he's pissed off. He's crashing out on us. I'm not mad at you. I'm frustrated at Shueisha. I'm tired of it. Like, they're such a bullshit, stupid-ass company. They have Dragon Ball, and they don't use it. It's mind-blowing, dude. How can you have something that so many people love, or at the very least, Jay, put out a statement with Toriyama Sensei gone, we're gonna finish Dragon Ball. Then at least we can say, okay, this makes sense.
I think I just want to see Super finish through to the end of Z personally. That's what I'd like to see. But yeah, Daima, I don't think needs explanation, in my opinion. This is my opinion. You guys might feel differently. I think Daima can be, like I said earlier, they're going to explain it likely next week, what they can, and the rest is kind of up to you to decipher. And they have an episode left to wrap things up. So we don't know what's going to happen yet and what's going to be said, but I have a feeling, like I said earlier, Super Saiyan 4 is exclusive to Daima due to the magic. We don't need to worry about why Goku didn't do it in Super, because again, there's an in-universe explanation and a real-life explanation. You know, we don't need answers to some of those questions, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I my job, I think, is sometimes to, on YouTube, to gather the information for people and try to give it to them in a way for them to understand. But sometimes, and we've talked about this, you and I, you give them information, it's not good enough, and it's really. Like, for example, this guy right here. How do they explain SS3 Vegeta not being accessible or used? I literally answered that question in September, in December, on 18 different streams. Like, how many more times do I have to answer that question?
Well,
bro?
I could answer it by simply saying, like I said earlier, Daima was created.
It's in episode 18, though.
But here's the thing, right? Daima was created recently. Super was created years ago. So obviously, there's your explanation in real life.
Real life, but in
reality.
Universe,
well, what the reality is, in Battle of Gods, he surpassed Super Saiyan 3 in his Super Saiyan 2 form. So, like, you know, and then after that, he had God forms. Like, it doesn't need explaining. Maybe the only thing you could say is, oh, but Goku went Super Saiyan 3 in the Tournament of Power. Why didn't Vegeta do it? Refer back to the real life world events of why, because Vegeta at the time, in our world, didn't have Super Saiyan 3.
Well, true, but there's also, when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 in the Tournament of Power, it was not to fight Jiren or anybody serious.
Only to show
demonstrate it to the girls. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't like he was going to fight with it. And again, how many more times does Dragon Ball have to tell you that Super Saiyan 3 has an energy handicap? It was said in Z. It was said in Super. It was in today's episode of Daima. Why is this question still being asked?
We've seen it twice. Been surpassed by 2. It was surpassed by Super Saiyan 2 in Battle of Gods, and it was surpassed by Super Saiyan 2 in the manga. In the Dragon Ball Super manga, Trunks surpassed Super Saiyan 3 in his Super Saiyan 2 form.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not even mad at Nomad Prince. I'm not mad, but I've explained this I don't know how many fucking times, dude. Like, it sickens me sometimes, because I'll put a video out, and sometimes I will do a stream, and people will ask me a question that I answered yesterday on a video. And now I'm not upset at them for asking me, but it's like, dude, can you watch the video and maybe you'll get your answer? Now, in this case, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta thing's been explained I don't know how many times, bro. Like, do we have to wait for the show? Do we have to wait for Vegeta himself to say, well, Kakarot, I'm not using it anymore because it has bad stamina? We already know that. We saw Goku have trouble with it in the Buu arc. Like, why does he have to? Goku already knows that. So let me move on. Jay Arab says, do you think Hybis is foreshadowing the Saiyan's true origins when he says, are you sure they are not Majins? Okay, I don't know if you have a different translation than I do. I did not use the Crunchyroll subs, so I don't know if maybe he's in a different translation. The version I saw, Hybis said, these guys remind me of Majin or something like that. I actually have that in my breakdown video coming out tomorrow. And in that video, please watch it before asking again. I'm trying to save you super chat money, but all joking aside, in that video, we go into that. Hybis is not very smart. And they already said that Saiyans and humans were born in the outer realm after.
Yes.
If they retcon it to where Saiyans are from the demon realm, it would have to be in episode 20. And I don't know if they have enough time for that. You know what I mean?
And we've heard as recently as Dragon Ball Super that even the Universe 7 Saiyans are originally from planet Sadal. So
yeah,
we have
the original planet Sadal.
Yeah, they didn't, Planet Vegeta, even before Planet Vegeta, the Saiyans had their own planet. So
yeah, we got a couple more, bro. Andrew Pickett says, not sure how they'll explain SS 400%. You know how you can have it explained for you, bro? There's a video
Magic.
on the channel called Super Saiyan 4 Transformation Explained. Why do you need them to explain it when I explained it? Is my word not good enough for you? Are you really going to break my heart like that?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
He's going to break my heart, this guy. But Vegeta SS3 is easily explainable in my opinion. Thank you. I love Andrew. I love this guy. He knew the drawbacks and he knew Beerus was too powerful. I know. Thank you. See, Andrew got it. As far as Super Saiyan 4, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if they're going to explain more about Super Saiyan 4 in the next episode, but like we talked about, it's a regular length episode. They have to close up a lot of shit. They got to beat Gomah. They got to say goodbye to Glory and Pansy. They got to go back to the outer world. Like, there's just a lot, and if you don't get the explanation, then all you have left is my explanation, which is not only my explanation. Jay said the same thing. Jordan said the same thing. Herms said the same thing. Like, how many more people who study Dragon Ball have to say the same thing before you say, okay, do we have to have Neva talk for for 5 minutes explaining everything? I don't think it's necessary, man.
If Toriyama brings Super Saiyan 4 back in the manga one day, I'm sure he's going to explain how Goku's able to access it again. I'm sure that will be explained at that time. Until now, he's not going to be able to use it through Super because he can't use it. There's an in-universe reason. It's magic. Simple as that. Like, that's all you need to know. And
it was triggered by Neba, and Goku did power back into it again. But if Goku's not familiar with magic, now will Goku become familiar with magic? That remains to be seen. I would not mind it if Goku and Vegeta learned more about magic, but that hasn't happened yet. So we can't assume it's going to happen. Brandon Hanner said, even with the regular runtime, they could buy a few more minutes by dropping the OPED and play Jakajan as Goku and company load up to head back to U7. I kind of like his idea, bro. Instead of using the opening and ending, they use that time for the story of the episode. I like that idea, bro.
Possibly. Well, if I remember correctly, with episode 1, did they play Jakajan at all? I don't think they did until episode 2, did they?
They played it at the end. Remember when the wish was made? Yeah. I would like that. This guy's got a good idea. Sorry,
definitely. Yeah. I have another question for you, actually, that I don't know. When are they going to do, or are they going to do a localized English release of Jakajan? Because the show still releases, if you watch it in English, for example, it still plays the Japanese song. Every release of Dragon Ball in English has an English localized version of the song. So, outside of the original Head Chala, they didn't do one for Chala, Head Chala, or We Got a Power. They didn't do one for that, but
because Dragon Ball Z gets fucked over.
But GT, they obviously did, and then from GT onwards, they always did an English song. Yeah.
Don't stop, we're in luck now. Actually, you know what, Jay? I think that the English version of Don't Stop is actually maybe the best one as far as sounding like the Japanese.
It's very catchy, yeah.
Really
and to be fair, the final chapters one, although it's sung by a Japanese guy in English, it doesn't sound as good as the Japanese original final chapters song
because it's English.
And they changed the lyrics a little too much. I'll tell you which English song does rock, which is the Tournament of Power. Sounds amazing in Japanese and in English. The Tournament of Power song.
They did a great job with that in Super. A great job. I will say this about your question. Stephanie told me all the way back when they first started doing Daima that, no, it wasn't when they first started, but when it became public, she said that that she wanted to sing the English localization, but they told her there's not going to be one. Now, I don't know if they're going to change their mind about that or not, but there's a lot of anime that never get localized songs. I mean, you're right in that Dragon Ball has gotten them in recent memory, but there's a lot of anime that just play the Japanese music. I don't know. I don't know who makes those decisions, bro. It could be Toei. It could be, I don't know. Samuel Campos, based on what we're seeing, what two unlikely, he was on the stream last night, unlikely characters could you see using the fusion bugs if it isn't Goku Vegeta? Happy 10-year anniversary. Thank you, sir. Jay, if it's not Goku and Vegeta, who do you think's going to use the fusion bug?
I'll give you two answers. What I want to see and who I think that we're going to see.
Yes, I would love that.
I want to see the two Majin Ku and Majin Do use the fusion bugs. That would be amazing for me. But
Dooku.
That would be cool. If we saw the two Majins use fusion bugs, that'd be sick. I'd love that. I think we'll see something weird. Maybe Goku and Piccolo or Goku and Never. I don't know, but that's just a random guess.
So
Goku and Vegeta has been done so many times before.
Do you think that, and this is not a leak, this is an actual question because I don't know. Do you think that Super Saiyan 4 will fail? Meaning it'll do well against Gomah for a little bit, but just like what happened in 18, the third eye will overwhelm Goku, and then they have to fuse. Like I'm just curious if they're gonna do it that way, because I also feel like what I don't want to have happen, bro, is people in the fandom, they're gonna if Super Saiyan 4 gets jobbed out, people are gonna shit on it because they think that every form doesn't kill a main villain is bad. But I don't think that's the case, man. It's more about how strong the third eye is, more than like, hey,
Goku. Don't shit on Super Saiyan 3. We beat Haruto with Super Saiyan 3.
I said that earlier.
Ryo-Ken, Dragon Fist, and Super Saiyan 3. Dragon Fist, by the way, here's another reason, not to get off topic, why I like Super Saiyan 4 more in GT. Ryo-Ken, the Dragon Fist, and 10 times Kamehameha. Those two techniques are the sickest techniques in Dragon Ball ever. The 10 times Kamehameha, the red beam, and the Dragon Fist.
Nothing beats those techniques. Kamehameha from last week.
Nah, not as good as GT. That red Kamehameha that he introduced against Baby and Super, I think it was Super 17 maybe, was actually the first time he used it, but that looks sick.
No. I know it does, but I'm asking you, what did you think of the flame? Did you like the flame thing? Because I loved the little flame. Like, that was creative.
It looks cool, but I definitely was thinking, my mind was on, but the 10 times Kamehameha still looks better. That's what my mind was on, but everyone's different. But I think what will happen is Super Saiyan 4 will actually succeed. We might see two characters, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Super Saiyan 4 will succeed and we'll see two other characters use the fusion bugs, or maybe Goku will fail as Super Saiyan 4 and we'll see him fuse with someone random. I hope it's Vegeta, obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something whack. I mean, I think I know what it is. It could be something goofy like Tamagami 1 and Vegeta. I'm not gonna lie. You know what would be awesome? If Tamagami 1 fused with Vegeta, right? And they're not gonna do this, but this would be awesome. Vegeta got like armor, but it was like the Tamagami armor, and he got that big ass sword, and they cut the eye out of his head. They cut it out. Like, that'd be dope, bro. They won't do that, but that'd be dope. People want Dragon Fist in Daima.
Dragon Fist is amazing. Modern Dragon Ball is not the same as it used to be. Vegeta gets shine now, so I wouldn't rule out Vegeta getting something cool next week. I don't think it'll happen. He's already had Super Saiyan 3. But I don't know. That's why I like Super so much, because they've gone in a different route. Vegeta's got Ultra Ego. Goku's got Ultra Instinct. They follow their own path. I like that. I'm sick of seeing Vegeta follow what Goku's doing.
We talked about this earlier, but I promise you we'd talk about it live. How do you feel about, because in the Buu arc, Vegeta and Goku tagged in and out against Kid Buu, but it was Vegeta distracting Majin Buu while Goku gathered energy for the Genki Dama. What do you think if for this, Goku's doing the distracting and Vegeta and Piccolo are going to try and finish off Gomah? I know that people want to see Vegeta finish off a final villain, and this might not necessarily be them killing Gomah, just knocking the eye out, even though they could kill him. Like, how would you feel if Goku Super Saiyan 4 was fighting Gomah and then Vegeta and Piccolo are trying to tag him from behind? Would that be satisfying for you as a Vegeta fan?
It would and it wouldn't. It'd be cool to see Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo work together. That'd be cool. And I like Piccolo. Piccolo's up there. He's one of my favorite characters. I feel like he's come along on the ride for a reason, so I feel like he's got something to do in the last episode. Nothing will ever satisfy Vegeta fans more than Vegeta finishing a final villain. But I'll preface that, well, not preface, I've already said it, but I'll finish this with saying Vegeta has had so much shine in the series in the last 30 years that he almost doesn't need to finish a final villain. He's had all the forms Goku's had. He's had, except for Ultra Instinct, obviously, he has forms Goku doesn't have, like Blue Evolved and Ultra Ego. He is the only one who stays on par with Goku always. So Vegeta gets so much shine as a character, and he's always portrayed as Goku's equal. And there's no one else who's portrayed as Goku's equal other than Vegeta, really. So in my opinion, he doesn't need to finish a final villain. That's me. I would love it to happen. I don't think it will happen, though. Maybe in the Toyotaro era, he will do that. I don't know.
I still think that if they continue the story, I say if because we don't know if it's going to continue, but let's say it is. I still think Vegeta should be the one to kill Frieza once and for all with the Hakai.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that should be his big W. Now, our poll results here. Who should rule the Demon Realm? King Kadon won with 30%, but it was close. Arintu got a 17%. She's not going to win. Glorio got 27, and Neva got 26. So it was mostly between those top three, but King Kadon wins. I mean, it makes sense. He's there, you know? It makes sense. All right. Before we move on with the super chats, all right, we have a few more, but I wanted to ask you something. What are your feelings on the passing of Toriyama? We haven't talked about this publicly. Last year it happened. Actually, we're coming up on the anniversary next week. It's next Saturday is the 1 year anniversary of the day that he died. We found out about a week later. What tell me about how you found out and what your feelings are about it. You know, I'm just curious.
A friend of mine, Lloyd, sent me a news article because I stay off social media quite a bit. I don't really sit on my phone and go on social media a whole lot. So I obviously then had to, you double take and you're second guessing it. So I had to confirm myself. So I went and did some researching and found out that it was true and that he'd been sick for a number of months prior to that. So it was really, it was heartbreaking. It just sadness. Young guy. Yeah, just sadness. A piece of your childhood has gone. So, and yeah, I didn't really think about the immediate future of Dragon Ball because for me, it's more about what he's given us in the past, not what is going to be given to us now in the future. I would love for Toyotaro to continue, but I think we all respect that Toyotaro is no Toriyama and he's not going to be able to give us the same level of Dragon Ball that Toriyama did because the fact of the matter is, even if Toyotaro reaches the same heights as Toriyama in terms of writing and drawing, he's not the original creator of the show. And that is always going to kind of be there, kind of hovering around. So I'm really thankful for all the stories that Toriyama gave us when he was around. And I'm also really thankful for the people I met through his stories as well.
Yeah, I totally see it. Like and then I actually made a video months after he passed away about Dragon Ball without him. And I was a little worried because, you know, even though his writing is not what it was in the 90s and 80s, he's still a very creative guy. Like all this Demon Realm stuff, like some of the character designs, you can like them or hate them, but the Tamagamis look cool, like the lore. The dude's like a visionary. He has a very creative imagination. And with him gone, I'm not sure if Toyotaro has that imagination. Toyotaro could practice drawing and improve as an artist for the next 10 years. But is he ever going to have the creativity of Toriyama? That's what worries me. It not worries me, but that's what I focus on because, like, very few people do, bro. Like, there's not a lot of guys that have created something as creative as Dragon Ball. There's a lot. People got to sit back and look at Dragon Ball. It's the only series I know of that has magic, demons, time travel, aliens, sages, hell, heaven. Like, what the fuck, bro? He threw everything in there.
Yeah, I think in order for Dragon Ball to be successful moving forward, I think Toyotaro and the anime staff have to work together. That's my opinion. I think they all need to sit down and come up with ideas and work together, and they need to adapt it into anime. Because I think purists, I'm personally, I like it. I don't need manga alongside the anime, me personally. But I think there are going to be people who are going to want to see the manga alongside new anime. So I feel like they need to sit down, work out ideas, and come up with ideas for new storylines. Obviously, we've got the Black Frieza stuff, but there needs to be a lot of working together. Otherwise, you're going to end up with two different. There's already enough of it in Super in the manga versus the anime. You got two different timelines basically because the manga and the anime don't align with each other. So,
right.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's they should have already been doing that now. And I'm not going to repeat myself, but I really hate Shueisha because it's. Man,
I know Toyotaro kind of more so he answers to Shueisha and not to Toei, but I feel like Shueisha and with Toriyama's passing Shueisha and Toei, as well as Toyotaro, who works for Shueisha, they need to be sitting down and working together. Both of them need to be.
They should have already been doing that. You know what I mean?
They stop having a dick measuring contest on who has the rights to the Dragon Ball Super manga and anime and just work together.
It's disgusting to me, man. It really is.
It shows a lack of respect for Toriyama. So.
If Toriyama wrote a letter, let's just say, where he says, if I die, the series goes with me, all they have to do is publish that letter and be like, okay, it's over. That's it. We're done. A lot of people, I don't know if you follow this, Jay, but a lot of people are worried that George R.R. Martin is going to die before he can finish the Game of Thrones books. Yeah. And because he's old as shit. And this is kind of how I feel about Nozawa. We already lost Toriyama, and that's already bad. But if we lose George R.R. Martin before he finishes doing all the Game of Thrones books, there could be a situation where somebody else comes along to finish them. But there could also be one where it just ends right there. And I just want them to be transparent about it. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I didn't we were all made privy to the fact that Toriyama's son has actually got a bit of a say on what goes on as well?
No, that's a big misconception. He has the rights to the estate. Like anytime that Toriyama collects checks, he's the one that gets it. Right. But he's not an artist and he's not a writer.
So he has no say. Understood.
Well, I don't know about no say, but he's not going to be the guy writing the story. So maybe he can make decisions on Toriyama's behalf as far as like things that he feels like his father would do or whatever. But he's not going to be writing any of the stories. So he's not a writer. It's not what he does. Itchy Ball says, I hope that Goku hits Gomah in the balls at some moment that Piccolo hits him on the back of the head for a third time. Bro, that'd be awesome if they hit him once in the balls and once in the back of the head. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. This guy might be a bit obsessed with the he's got balls in his name and balls in his question.
Well, this show's all about balls, bro.
It is.
Jalen Quest said, I just realized we're not going to see Kid Gohan again. Yeah, no Gohan and Daima. I wanted him there. I really did. But, I mean, what can you do?
I feel like that was a creative decision. This is my opinion on it. Obviously, it can be in-universe written on as Gohan's off doing his own thing, doing his studies. And then also on top of that, I feel like I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to give the extra work for Nozawa. She is getting older now. If she's got to voice lines for Goku and Gohan, she's got more work to do.
That's actually a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, bro. Okay. Cheshire Cat says, I don't think it'll happen, but I can dream. What if Neva and Piccolo fused? Piccolo will memorize how to do all of Neva's magic. Well, so you know how people say shit like, oh, well, Super Saiyan 4 is not in Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is not in Super, that, you know, it's a plot hole, or which it's not, but let's just say they say that. This would be a plot hole. Because if Piccolo has Neva's powers and he's not using them to supercharge everybody around him and to like do shit with the Dragon Balls to reactivate them, that would make no sense. The Goku and Vegeta things can be explained. That can't be. So
exactly. That was the first place my brain went.
Yeah, if Piccolo is going to, well, our brains are kind of similar, bro. It's usually titties, pussy, Dragon Ball. So and pizza, but or ass, whatever. But the point I was trying to make is, if they fuse later in the timeline, like post superhero, maybe, but I don't think that's happening. Jay, do you think Neva's gonna die, bro? Like next episode?
I don't know. I don't think so. No. Maybe because maybe they'll want to ride away the Dragon Balls of the Demon Realm. If that's the only reason I see them doing that is if they want to remove the Dragon Balls as a plot device from the Demon Realm. But no, I think he'll stay alive. That's me personally. Yeah.
He's old too. I mean, the dude's like thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, maybe millions of years. I hope they put out an official timeline
but we don't know how old the Grand Elder on Namek was when he died. So
yeah, right.
We don't know. Like
no,
and notice people. I didn't use the word guru because guru is a dirty word because it's made up.
Here comes Jay. This is the guy I was waiting for him, bro. Bruce Falconer is a stupid cunt. A shitty pedophile.
I didn't say that, I didn't say that. But about 70 to 80% of those songs he didn't write.
Actually, it's more like 90%.
90%.
He only wrote 4. I don't know if we've talked about this because I have a lot of new viewers. Bruce Falconer, the guy everybody fucking wants to bukkake or get bukkake them, only did 4.
He follows me on Facebook, dude.
4 songs of the entire Falconer score were done by him. 4. But he takes credit for everything.
Whole thing. Yeah,
I don't like that guy, bro.
He even sells the CDs. If you go on Amazon or eBay, you can buy the CDs to this day.
Yeah, he autographs them.
Yeah, I was astounded by that, but yeah, he randomly added me on Facebook one day. I was like, oh, okay.
It's this. You don't even like him. It's disgusting because the guys who do make that music, who have done concerts here on the channel before, they have talent. And I'm not saying Bruce doesn't have talent because I think Bruce is an inspired piano player. I've heard a lot of Bruce's non-Dragon Ball music because one day I did a deep dive into his shit. He actually is good at playing piano, unquestionably. But I don't like the fact that he takes credit for coming up with all the music. And he never, ever mentions the other guys, and that's just not fair. João Petrosa, I'll bet you're Brazilian or Portuguese. Any chance Kaioshin paralyzes Gomah while Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo attack the back of Gomah's head simultaneously? You want Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo to give Gomah head while Kaioshin holds him down? All right. All right. Do you think the Supreme Kai could actually hold him down, bro?
I don't, because he struggled to hold a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan during the Buak, and I don't think Gomah is on that level. I think Gomah's far above that level with the not without the third eye, but with the third eye, I think he's far above that level.
Yeah, with the third eye, like, bro, he's having his way with everyone, dude. Like, even I think that what they're probably going to do with the next episode is Goku will actually start hitting him and winning, but eventually that third eye will kick in and he'll start beating him back. It'll go back and forth. Yeah. That is one of the most powerful artifacts in history, dude. It's insane. Ricardo Torres says, I'll be disappointed if we don't get to see a new fusion with the Bugs, but Daima's been amazing. I'm relatively certain you're going to get a new fusion in episode 20. One that, when I say new, I mean new. So let's see how it goes down. Muhammad Ali, the boxer? No, it doesn't spell like that. Do you guys think it's possible we'll see SS4 Vegeta and then a fusion in the finale? What do you think, Jay? I think you said you didn't think so.
I think Vegeta's shine was the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. I think if Vegeta was going to get Super Saiyan 4, it would have been today. Well, it was today for me because I watched it this morning, so last night. No, I don't think there's enough time next week to get Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 and then for them to fuse as well.
Do you think Vegeta should have asked Neba, hey, give me some of that magic? Like, do you surprise he didn't?
I think my friend and I were talking about this earlier, and he made a comment that was kind of valid. Vegeta's not the sort of person at the moment to go up to Never and ask for a transformation. It's just not, for me, and I agree with my friend, it's just not in his character to go, hey, can you give me this same transformation? Vegeta would be the sort of guy, just look at Battle of Gods. He didn't do the ritual to get the red-haired form. He got the red-haired form by training under Whis.
Right, yes.
He's not going to ask for anything. He's going to earn it, you know?
Well, he did say he wanted to do the ritual, but he wound up just training under Whis. But what about GT? People always point to the fact that Bulma had to make that machine for Vegeta. People always say that.
Well, I made a video about that the other day. The machine was switched off when Vegeta transformed into a Great Ape. The machine was then turned off. The transformation into Super Saiyan 4 comes from the Golden Uzaru, the Golden Ape form, and you trigger that with an emotional realization of who you are. For Goku, it was Pan. For Vegeta, it was Goku. The machine had not been on for about 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes of screen time at the point he transformed into a golden ape. So that's when people say he cheated, it's the most stupid argument I've ever seen about Super Saiyan 4.
Maybe, yeah, because they didn't have another moon. Maybe Bulma should have been like, hey, Vegeta, if you don't go Super Saiyan 4, I won't bathe with you anymore. Maybe that would have worked in the GT era, bro. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I will say this, though, man. Yesterday, Uchi was on Twitch, and he was watching the GT episode where Vegeta gets SS4, and they fired the blast on him, and he got regular Great Ape. Then he got the golden one for just a few seconds, then Super Saiyan 4. The sound, like the noises he was making and the sounds, I'm not a big fan of it, man. Like the visuals were okay, but like, you know how Nozawa and Horikawa, like when they're doing Super Saiyan 4, they sound almost like they're like they're hurt. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, like I don't like that. Yeah. I like the Uzaru roar, bro. The fucking roar. Like that's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. SS Jutsu. I hope he actually check your DMs, bro. I sent you a message today. What an incredible animated episode. Where would you rank in the animation of the SS4 transformation sequence in Daima to all transformation sequences? I said this earlier, and I'm going to stand by it. I actually think it may be animation-wise, the best form. Again, we're just talking about animation-wise here. Animation-wise, it's beautiful. What about you?
Yeah, it's a beautiful transformation. I guess a lot goes in. I agree with you. For the animation side, a lot goes into what makes a transformation great. There's the score, there's the tone and why it's happening. Like, obviously, this was not as impactful as when Goku went Super Saiyan on Namek when Krillin was killed. Nowhere near as impactful. But
yeah,
from
the animation was over the top here.
Yeah. I feel like transformation-wise, you could argue Trunks when he found Gohan dead after the androids killed him. That was also more impactful than this.
More emotional.
More emotional. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Or Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation with that beautiful piece of music that plays. Or Trunks when he transforms against Frieza. There's a lot that goes into it. But animation-wise, this was up there with probably Ultra Instinct. Yeah, against probably Kale. Yeah. Or Kefla, beautiful. Sorry. Yeah, Kefla.
Yeah, Kefla, yeah. All right, I have it pulled up here. I'm going to play. I have to be careful with this. Just let everybody know, if the stream ends up getting copyright claimed by Toei, I'm going to play a little bit of the transformation. It may get clipped out. So if you're watching this on the replay, if you want to watch the transformation, just pull up the episode on whatever streaming service you have it on, or go to my Twitter. I have the full scene. That's where I'm getting this from. We gotta watch this together, bro. One of these days, man, I kind of wish it's too late. I wish when Vegeta went Super Saiyan 3 that there was a camera on you to see your reaction. That would have been nice.
Well, it would be nice, but yeah, I had a smile on my face. I can tell you that. Big smile.
I believe it, bro. I believe it. It's like when you root. That's good.
How do you know?
Because you told me.
I didn't tell you that.
You must forget our conversations, bro. But I remember. I remember them. All right, let's go. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's fine.
All right. I like this shot right here, bro. With Gomah. I like how Gomah makes stupid faces every time he gets hit.
He's a goofy guy.
This is Yuya Takahashi right here, folks. Shemel's about to pass out again in the booth, Jay.
He might.
When he does this. Now, look at the lightning effects, but look at that shit, bro. Look at that. The purple lightning. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Gaming Hub UK because he said that the logo of Daima is yellow and purple, and he's like, I wonder if that means something. They use yellow and purple here, so good call, man. Eye turns red. Him ripping his shirt off was awesome, bro. We need to see more shit like that. Pause.
Well, could you argue that Super Saiyan 4 and GT is more magical because every time he de-transforms, his clothes grow back?
Yeah, I was going to say Nakatsuru. That happened here, too, when Gomah reversed him in the last episode. But Nakatsuru said that for this version of Super Saiyan 4, they did it this way for that reason. It's a small thing, but it mattered to him. Look at him, bro. It's like Broly.
Well, I know Sean has a lot of respect for Nozawa. He said it publicly, but he's got big shoes to fill there when he does that scene because that is going to be a tough scene.
How do you feel about Goku being so powerful that the Tamagami and the other demon worlds were able to feel him, bro? I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I felt like at least with Tamagami 2, you can see him looking over the water. So he's probably wondering why the waves are crashing and what's going on. But in Tamagami, this one here, he just looks like he's chilling. He doesn't look like he's reacting to anything.
I'm glad they showed him one last time. I don't know if we're going to see him again.
Yeah. He looks like he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe he's seen something like that before.
Mm.
And then he climbs up from under a rock.
This reminds me of that scene from the Dan Dan intro where in GT, where at the end of it, he's on the rock.
I put that in my breakdown tomorrow.
Okay.
Because it does kind of look like that.
Yeah. That's got to be what it's a throwback to, surely.
He's looking at his hands like I'm going to look at my hands after No Nut November, bro. I'm just going to look at him.
He's looking at his... Sorry.
No, I was saying, go ahead. I have my power back.
He's looking at his hands like, man, I have regular-sized fists again. My fists aren't bigger than my head. Because when he was a kid, his fists look ridiculous when he was a kid. I'm sorry.
They're pretty big here, bro. And look at the bicep. Yeah. Look at that massive bicep, bro.
That's the only criticism I had of the animation last week. Everyone was praising the art. Obviously, not the animation I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the art, the way they drew it. They drew Goku's hands in his Super Saiyan 4 form as a kid, bigger than his head just about. And I was like, what is going on with his hands? He looks so goofy.
It's
that
like
looks
an
way
ape.
better.
It's like an ape, basically.
He looks way better there.
Very primal.
Yeah.
And then he just smiles, bro. And then we have our next episode preview.
Well, I've already pre-ordered my SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta figurine on Amazon. I think I'll be pre-ordering the Super Saiyan 4 Goku SH Figure Arts as well.
Are you getting the adult versions of them too?
Well, I got the kid version of Vegeta pre-ordered. The adult one's probably cooler. See, the thing about Amazon is they don't charge you until it ships. So if I see the adult one come out, I'll probably cancel my kid one and get the adult one because the adult ones do look better. Oh,
so you're not going to get both?
Probably not. I'd prefer to get the adult ones, but as soon as I saw the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Daima figurine release on Amazon for SH Figure Arts, it releases in December over here in Australia. I hit pre-order. So
in December, bro? That's like 10 months away.
I don't know if it's any sooner anywhere else because, for example, the Daima figurines they just released that just came out for Mini Goku and Mini Vegeta from the start of Daima, they released in December, I think, in the US, and January in Australia. So if we're getting the next ones in December, you guys might get them in November.
It just feels like so far away from now. You know what I mean?
I know. They might bring the release window forward. It might just be a placeholder.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Xavier says, I agree with you, Jay. Original SS4 design is better. Thank you, Xavier. Mustanger says, in episode True Strength, Neva marvels at Vegeta's strength and talks about his potential and soups up the Tamagami, but gives only Goku SS4. Why, though? That's a good question.
Plot armor. He's the main character.
I mean, that's the real answer, but
That's the real answer.
He's basically saying that Neva respects Goku, or he respects Vegeta. I'm sorry, but he gave Goku the power up. You're probably right. Thank you for the donation. Let's see how many more we got here. People are crazy about this. Joe Madre, I love that name. What if Super ends and instead of going past end of Z, they make multiple shows that take place in the 10-year gap that don't connect to each other forever? I would hate that. I would fucking hate that. Unless there's one way I would like it, and that is if each of those shows takes place in a different universe and has a different story. If they make a Pride Trooper show, if they make a Galactic Patrolman show, if they make even like a Universe 6 Saiyan show, if they do that, I'm fine with it. But if it's like random adventures that don't connect, like, I wouldn't be totally against it because it's Dragon Ball, but I'm tired of the 10-year time skip, bro. Like, either go in the future or go way in the past. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. To
this day, the reason GT is interesting to me, I know that it can't coincide alongside Super. It's a separate timeline. I always put my own head canon of GT's in a similar timeline to the movies because, you know, Cooler's in GT, Dragon Fist is in GT, so. I like GT because it's the only series that is a sequel to the anime. And exactly. Great shirt. It doesn't do much with Oob, but it's cool to see what they do with Oob. Like, I like elements of GT. It's the only show that's had the balls to be a sequel to Z. And I hope one day that they finish the 10-year time skip and then that's it. I don't want them to do another show after Z, but if they do, I guess it can still be done because, like I said, GT is a separate timeline or a different dimension. Even Toriyama said, I think his exact words were something along the lines of, the movies and GT are in a different dimension or universe, something like that.
Grand side story, yeah.
Grand side story, exactly.
Yeah. He put over GT. I mean, he never said anything bad about it. He said he watched it with his kid.
He created character designs for the start of it, so he doesn't dislike it.
And he was there for the early production meetings. Well, maybe not physically there, but that's something we unearthed in that video I put out in 2017 that Herms helped me out with. The GT Dragon boxes reveal that Toriyama was early on, but he did not create Super Saiyan 4. That was Nakatsu. So go ahead, bro.
I got the GT Dragon box today. That was the last one I needed. I got that not sealed, but it's in the original box with the yellow sticker on it, and it's got the Dragon Radar.
Saiyan 4.
Yeah, it's got the Dragon Radar in it. It's a full, complete original box. So it comes in the box when you bought it in Japan with the green sticker on it. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even open it. Like, you have all the episodes digitally. I wouldn't risk scratching the disc. Yeah, fuck that. Junior says, would you rather host Kamehacon again or work in the call center with the totalitarian boss with the 5-minute restroom breaks? Probably the call center, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that. I would actually get paid better. Red Ghost 312 says, everyone talking about SS3, SS4. I guess I'm the only one wanting Do and Ku to fuse. People keep saying Do and Ku are gonna fuse, but what about if Do just absorbs Ku?
That could could certainly happen.
Then they don't need the fusion bugs.
I like the goofy design of Do, but Majin Ku for me, that I love the Kid Buu element mixed with a Cyberman. I love that.
What about the fact that he can do math and fucking like read fast?
Yeah,
he's a nerd like Gohan.
I love him. I think Mr. Fusion was the other one. He says he loves him. I love that character. I think he's so cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of Dragon Ball. You know what's funny, Jay? I was talking to somebody today about this. I think it was Gaming Hub UK, right? And he goes, how funny is it that now in episode 19 and 18, all these people that were shitting on Daima are now coming around? And I told him, I said, it's always been like that. Now, I want to preface it by saying, I am not saying that Dragon Ball Daima is perfect. It's not. And I'm not saying the movies are perfect. But when Broly was first announced, everybody bitched. When it came out, everyone loved it. When Superhero came out, it was, oh my God, we want it cooler. Then when the movie came, oh, yo, Gohan has a new form. That's how the fandom is. They always bitch and moan when something new is out, and then when they see it, they end up liking it. And I just feel like, when is the fandom going to grow the fuck up and just wait and see it for yourself? Look, just watch the shit, and then we can shit on it if it sucks. You don't know if it's going to suck till you see it.
No. And there's elements of Daima that people, it's what sells the show, really, is the fighting and the transformations. I get that. But once Daima's all said and done and you've got no new content, if you haven't seen Dragon Ball, go back and watch Dragon Ball. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball GT, go watch Dragon Ball GT. If you haven't seen the movies prior to Battle of Gods, go watch those. Because you'll have an appreciation for the show in a different way, rather than always wanting the same stuff.
Jay, Dragon Ball's boring. It's just a comedy. There's no fighting in it. There's no Super Saiyan. I'm bored.
Well, then go watch the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai and get back to me.
Or go watch two horses fuck, because you can't seem to fucking keep your damn fucking attention span, bro.
But bro, 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai into the Saiyan arc is peak Dragon Ball. Nothing is better than 23rd Tenkaichi. Like, into like, you take that snippet of Dragon Ball from like the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, the Saiyan arc, and then like the early Namek arc where all the Frieza stuff's unveiled. That's peak Dragon Ball. Nothing beats that. Story-wise, nothing's better.
I think that's the most consistent Toriyama's written, because you still had a little bit of the comedy in there. Not too much, a little bit, but it really got good. I mean, really got good. The Don Gaming says, I think red letters were a hint of SS4 Goku. I did not see the translation except for the one that said, fuck me, please, anyone. So that's canon to me, bro. That's canon. Player Ground says, when do you think we'll go past DBZ 10-year time skip? Brother, I don't know if we ever will. That's what Jay and I were talking about earlier. We may never go past it. And I want them to. Jay doesn't. Look, I just want some communication. I just want Shueisha to tell us what they're going to do instead of just being quiet. Dude, I had a conversation. I'm not going to say with who, but I had a conversation with somebody who works for one of the manga distributors, and they were venting to me about how Shueisha tells them nothing. Like, these are people that actively work on Dragon Ball. We're not talking about like YouTubers or leakers or artists. We're talking about people who literally work on the series outside of Japan, coming to me venting that Shueisha doesn't tell them shit. So if people at Crunchyroll or people at Viz or any of these companies aren't being told what's happening, what the fuck, bro? It's a shit show, Jay. It's a shit show.
No, it's very disappointing.
I hate Shueisha, bro. Carlos Gutierrez, I think that Do and Ku will fuse. You can count on that. Count Dooku. That's the pun. You can count on that. I love you.
If anyone hasn't seen the video of Jim Carrey and speaking of Count Dooku, Jim Carrey in the Star Wars universe, it's like a 3-minute video on YouTube. It is hilarious. Go watch it.
Send that to me later. I want to see that. I haven't seen it yet. Lone Wolf says, I predict that at the end of the episode, once they return home, Bulma will say she needs a bath, and we'll see Vegeta sprinting to turn on the water. That would be awesome. I love how creative some people are. I like that happens, bro.
Yeah, I like how creative some people are.
Or what if she's like, Vegeta, I want to have another baby, and Vegeta's like, can we wait a couple years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or maybe he doesn't care, bro. She's the richest. The Brief family is the richest. Dr. Brief is the richest man on the planet. She's of the richest family in the planet, bro. They don't have to worry about shit. Vegeta and Bulma could actually have 10 kids like you want to have and I want to have with Peyton List. Instead, he could actually have it and not worry about paying bills because he's with the richest.
What was your opinion of Ana Diaz, the girl I showed you the other day, the Cuban actress?
I got to see her in a movie, bro, and I feel like an idiot because you're telling me about all these movies, and I'm like, I think I've seen those movies, but I'm just
shocked you don't know about her because she's Cuban.
Well, the only Cuban I know is Eva Mendes. Do you remember her?
I do, yep.
Yeah, that's one of ours.
Isn't she the one who had a kid with Ryan Gosling or whatever?
Maybe. I just know her from Fast and Furious. She has a little
that's her. That's her. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for Ryan Gosling. You know what? Good for her, because Ryan Gosling's a very handsome man. Kiryu the Dragon Warrior says, off topic, but if they do animate Moro, say in a good timeline, who would you want as the English VA for Moro? For me, I would want David K. His Megatron voice would go great for Prime Moro 7-3. It's funny you said David K. as Megatron. I had a conversation once with Raleigh Pickens about this. Which is the Funimation, the Okatron engineer. He works with Sabat on the dub of Dragon Ball Super and the Broly movie and shit.
Way back since Kai, actually, Raleigh Pickens worked on Kai as well.
He's really good. And I told him, I said, what do you think about Peter Cullen playing Moro? And he's like, isn't he like 90? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, we're going to need him for the video game, so maybe somebody that old's a bad idea. But you know what, bro? Peter Cullen's like Toonami voice, bro, would be perfect for Moro, but he's probably too expensive for Funimation Crunchyroll. You know?
Yeah,
do you have a pick?
I haven't thought that far ahead, because I don't even know how Moro is going to sound in Japanese first, and there is something to be said about when, regardless of what people think, you might not know this, guys, but when they choose a voice actor for the English dub, they do base it off what they sound like in Japanese. They listen to what they sound like in Japanese. And they'll pick an actor based on that to try and make it similar. Like, even if you look at Glorio in Japanese and then how his mannerisms are and the way he's acted in Japanese, that's how they would have picked an actor for Glorio in the dub of Daima.
Right. And actually, Aaron Dismuke is really good at playing Glorio. Like,
excellent.
They've done an incredible job. The one that really kind of got me shocked was how good the Gomah dub voice was. I forgot the guy's name, but he nailed it, dude. Like,
yeah, I think
they've done a great job.
The only one I was a bit funny on, and this is no disrespect at all, was the kid voice for Piccolo was a little off to me.
He's been on the stream before, bro.
I have no problems with him. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It's not the voice I was expecting out of a kid Piccolo. Because, like in Dragon Ball, if I'm mistaken, in the anime, when Piccolo's a kid in the anime of Dragon Ball, we don't see him talk at all. He doesn't talk. He's mute until he's
right. I don't remember him talking either.
So you have nothing to base it off, really. But the Daima anime in Japanese, I'm pretty sure they kept the same actor. So, if I'm not mistaken,
new actor. All the kid voices were new actors. Yeah, the only one that's the same is Nozawa and Nadolny.
That surprises me, because Vegeta in the Japanese dub, even the child version of Vegeta sounds like Ryo Horikawa.
Yep, and Paul Castro also sounds like what a kid Vegeta would sound like. That is, I mean, I talked to Nassim about this a few months ago when he was on the show, and we talked about how difficult it was to come up with that Piccolo voice, because Piccolo's voice is so fucking deep. The good thing I pointed out, though, is he kind of sounds like Nail. And you know, like,
my partner was watching Daima with me, and she, as soon as she heard Piccolo talk, again, this is just our opinion, so please don't take this to heart, but as soon as Piccolo spoke, she was like, "Oh, Piccolo sounds really off. That doesn't sound like what Kid Piccolo should sound like." So that was and I didn't say that to her, but I had the exact same thought before he even said a line of dialogue, like before she said that. Yeah,
it's funny how sometimes non-fans make comments, and it's almost in some ways more enlightening than fans, you know?
Yeah,
it's funny, you know, how it's like that. Okay, Bellman says, I told you we got a lot of these, bro. I'm gonna catch up as fast as I can. Don't know much about Marvel DC, but watch your Goku versus Marvel video. Enjoyed it a lot. If DB's original run hadn't ended and kept going until now, do you think Goku would be fifth dimensional celestial level by now? We might still see that someday. I mean, Dragon Ball Heroes Goku, because Heroes so OP, you know, it's sort of like that. Now, I do want to say this. As much as I want more Dragon Ball content, like as a creator and as a fan, I'm actually glad Dragon Ball took a long break, because if they were still coming out with Dragon Ball from like 1986 to like now, they would have run out of ideas, man. It would have been, it's like Cobra Kai. Season 6 of Cobra Kai was the right time to end it. Some would say season 5. If a show drags on for too long, it could hurt the show.
But now they're doing a movie anyway.
Well, Brett, but the movie's 3 years later. It's only one character.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, shows can't last forever.
I think Dragon Ball needed the time off, and I'm really glad it didn't come back until the Yo Goku. Yo Son Goku and Friends, I felt like was putting feelers. Like, I felt like that was sort of a little. That's how I perceived it. Like, they were testing the waters, and then Battle of Gods was like, "Yep, let's go."
I was so happy when that came out. Oh my God, I was so happy. Yo, Son Goku. I was like, damn. EK103, bring back Cooler. He's one of my favorites. Would like to see this character rewritten and brought back like Broly. What do you think about that?
I love Cooler, and seeing as they've already taken ideas from the movies with Broly, I feel like, and GT now, they've taken ideas from GT. I don't have any issue with that. It's all in the execution. I love Cooler as a character, so that would be really interesting to see where they take that. Who knows? Black Frieza is going to be a plot point. You never say never these days.
Never say never. It's like, are we ever going to see Super Saiyan 4 again? Never. That's it. That should be the answer.
That should be a T-shirt. Put that on a T-shirt.
Maybe. Yeah, but then when we see it again, people are not going to want the shirt. So remember, bro, I'm the guy who said we'll never see Broly again in 2015. Let's not forget that. Frederick John Go Outside says, hey, Geekdom, a long-time watcher, just wondering if you think Daima Blu-ray release is coming soon. It's not about think. There is a Daima Blu-ray DVD release coming. It was announced like 2 weeks ago. I didn't talk about it because it's Japan only, unless you want to import them with no dub. As far as it coming out here, no update on that, but there is going to be a Blu-ray coming out. Nino Raw says that Echo, Master of 72 Transformation, Son Goku. Yeah, Sun Wukong has 72 transformations. Goku's catching up. Trevor said, with the last episode being called Maximum, do we know what the hidden message from the highlighted characters in the episode title is yet? Yes, it's fuck me please anyone. That's no, I mean, because I really don't know. I'm being serious. I don't know. That's a good enough answer. All right. OMG Alpha Dog Fusion Bugs will fuse Kibito and Supreme Kai maybe. I thought they were going to do that as a gag a while ago. Let's see if it happens. Speed Punch says, I hope next ep is not rushed and how Gomah is defeated. It's probably going to be a little rushed, I think. I don't think we got enough of like Goku and Vegeta fighting, or especially Piccolo. I really wish that Piccolo had more to do, bro.
Give us more Piccolo, 100%.
He did some, but I was hoping for more.
He's kind of been there for exposition, is why he's been there.
Yeah. And then, the whole Neba thing, older Namekian. Good Life Jay says, Geekdom, you tap all the women. How can I partake? Not all of them. But how do you partake? I don't know, bro. You make a lot of money. I have no idea. Xavier, I don't know. Xavier the God says, it's funny and interesting. Sure, Prince Vegeta has never beat a main villain, but he's technically undefeated against the main hero, Son Goku.
Yep. Yeah, I never got why people say he like Goku won the first fight. I was like, no, he didn't. He would have died if Krillin and Gohan didn't show up. And Yajirobe didn't cut his tail off.
I rewatched that fight Saturday, this past Saturday. No, 2 Saturdays ago. And dude, even before Goku did Kaioken 3, Goku was using a double Kaioken and Vegeta was still wrecking him. He has to go to 3 to beat him. And that right there means that if Goku did not have Kaioken, if he had never died and learned that ability, fucked. Yeah. Just fucked, bro. Just fucked. Bindle. Remember Bindle, bro?
Is that... I do remember him now, actually. Yep, 100%. I was going to say, that's not Clayton. I know it's not Clayton. No, it's not. I know who that is. I've
been trying to get Quinn to come on these streams, bro, but he doesn't want to show his face on camera. I don't know what he's ashamed of. He's a much more handsome man than I am, and I show my ugly ass face. I don't know, man. I really want Quinn to be on one of these. We'll probably do a Q&A together, but Fuck,
you just have
bro.
to have really good lighting, otherwise you won't be able to see his face.
No, don't, Jay. We're live, bro. Jay,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
It is. I know it is. People are gonna fucking.
No, Quinn's a friend of mine. Thank you.
Yeah, no, they're friends. Let it go. I don't want people to think anything of you. Deoxy says, "What if Goku, Josh from Dragon Ball Nation would make that joke every night? Hey, want to see me do a Quinn impression?" And then he disappeared to the darkness. Look, guys, I'm Quinn. Every night he would.
We used to talk into the early hours of the morning every night. I know Quinn would not have a problem with me saying that.
No, he wouldn't. You said worse, probably. Deoxy said, "What if Goku uses Janken scissors on Gomah and pokes him in the eyes? What if he pokes the third eye, bro? What do you think about that?"
Well, I don't think that's going to do anything. I think you've got to do what they said, knock it out the back of his head. But we'll see. I don't think punching him in the eye is going to do anything.
They're going to have to donkey punch fucking Gomah. Jay, have you ever donkey punched a lover of yours?
You know what? For as seasoned as I am, I actually don't know the meaning of what a donkey punch is.
Donkey punch is when you're doing a doggy and you fucking hit her in the back of the head. I don't do it, but
there's no way I would ever hit a lady.
I agree, but some people like it.
What I say to a lady if she tries to fight me, I said, "You will win because I will not hit you. However, if I get upset, I will put you in a rear naked choke and put you to sleep." That's what I said.
Or if she has a weapon, if she's coming at you with a knife or something, you have to defend yourself because that's not fair. That is not fair. If she has the third eye, you really lost the fight. Rochester from R&T, Dende and Neva fusion bug. I could have sworn he wrote deodorant and Neva fusion bug because, Neva doesn't bathe or whatever. That's kind of wild. I really thought that he had said that. Let me keep going here. Hold on. What else do we got? Okay. Hugo, is it confirmed that Daima is in the same continuity as Super?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Denny's reaction. I'm not laughing at the question.
How many times am I going to answer this question?
But look, before you answer, there's even a clip in the episode.
Hugo too. Go ahead.
Hugo, I think it was around the time, it was when they were in the second demon realm off memory. They had a snippet. They had a snippet of the Kais from the other universes in Super. So yes, they're connected, 100%. You just got to pay attention more. That's all. Just watch the show more.
What confuses me is Hugo's been on these streams before. I talk about it seemingly every single week, and I still get the same question. Like and I'm not upset.
Maybe he's trolling you, dude.
Well, he might be. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset. I'm really not, but it's just strange because how many times am I going to fucking answer the same question over and over again? Like, nothing's changed. Now, episode 20 might not give you the answers you're looking for. I'm just letting you know that now. Episode 20 might not. People have this fantasy, Jay. I've seen it all over social media that they're going to tease Beerus or Moro in the last episode. I'm telling you now, it's probably not happening. Very, very slim chance. They don't have enough time. I wish they had enough time, but they don't. I wish Daima was more than 20 episodes.
Me too.
I would have been fine with 25.
Another reason I think GT is better is because it has more build up to the big moment of Super Saiyan 4. This for me feels I'm not saying it's a bad series, but I'm saying it feels more rushed than GT. GT had over triple the episodes this does.
Yes, but they also had like 3.5 arcs. And Daima's just one arc. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do think they could have done a few more, even if it was like 22. If we have like 2 episodes of straight badass fighting, I would be fine with it. Omen says, "Do you think we'll see Goku bite Gomah?" That's actually a good question. Goku bites everybody, bro.
I hope so. It's hilarious when Goku bites people.
I hope he bites him in his dick, bro. That would be funny, bro. Okay. Chambiz says, "Interesting how the balls haven't returned to them." I go into this in my breakdown tomorrow, so make sure you check the video out tomorrow at 4. Don't skip the video so you get your question answered.
Is he talking the Daima Dragon Balls, the Demon Realm?
They don't go back into the Tamagami's stomach, chest area
Torso?
or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's probably because Neba has to use his magic to summon them and give them back to the Tamagami. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But again, guess what? That's probably not getting explained in episode 20. So if it's not getting explained, then you got to think for a minute and say, okay, if the Dragon Balls have dispersed, how are they going to get them back in the Tamagami? Well, episode 1 had Neba do his fucking magic shit and summon the 7 Earth Balls. He can probably do that with the Demon Balls. He'll summon them, he'll give them to the Tamagami and hit the reset button in the Demon Realm or something else. But I'm just letting people know now, bro, you're not going to get every answer in the last episode. You're just not. Like, all these questions that people have, some will be answered, some will not. And I say that because it's Dragon Ball. When Super ended, there were unanswered questions.
Yeah.
That's why I like the old shit more, too. All right. Angel Baron or Ahead says the episode was absolute cinema. Visually, absolutely it was. Okay. I agree. Xavier says, I would like a Goku Jr., Vegeta Jr. show. I think that ship sailed, bro. What do you think about that? I think that's almost too tied to GT. What do you think about
between Goku and Vegeta being kids in Daima and them fighting at the Tenkaichi Budokai at the end of GT, I feel like it's been done enough now. Yeah, I found the Vegeta, and you even with the other content, you see Vegeta as a kid in Dragon Ball Super Broly. You see Vegeta as a kid in the TV special, the Bardock TV special. It's been done enough now. I think it's like flogging a dead horse if you keep making them kids.
Even in flashbacks in Super, you see some stuff of him as a kid. Yeah. I mean, but he's talking about Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. I understand where he's coming from, and I'm not against the idea, but Dragon Ball Daima is clearly being done the way it is to have a Toriyama version of Super Saiyan 4 and the elements of GT. If they're already trying to take things from GT, right, you're probably not going to see a sequel to something from GT. That would be like if they brought back Z Broly and made a new movie with him, in the Z timeline. Like, it's not something that, now I could be totally wrong. I'm not saying this as an absolute because you never know what they're planning, right, or what they're going to do, right? But a lot of people seem to think that Daima's meant to wipe heroes in GT off the map permanently. It'll never be permanently wiped off the map, but there's no point in them going back to a GT canon when Daima canon is the new, fresh fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense when I say that, Jay?
You are, yeah. Like, look, you can't wipe GT out. Look behind me here. I've got GT merchandise here. You can't erase GT just by making Daima. It sells toys. It's characters for video games. You can't. It's a side story. It's a different dimension or a timeline. You treat it that way and just get on with it. Daima's good. GT's good. Why can't they both coexist? That's what people don't. They don't have to coexist in the same timeline. Just get over it,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same continuity, but it's just more Dragon Ball. Like, I actually was hoping, because I've seen some people say shit like, well, Daima gives us a reason to not watch GT. And I don't like that mentality because GT is different enough from Daima to where if you watch GT, you're going to get a different experience. Now, I'm not saying that Daima's better or worse. That's something that we can discuss when it's over. But what I want to say is that GT is not the same thing as Daima. Yes, we have Super Saiyan 4. Yes, we have the kids thing. Yes, we have the Giants. There's other things like that. But it's not the same thing. Like the story, it's more episodes, like you said. There's different story arcs. There's the pacing is different. Pan and Trunks' relationship to Goku is not the same as Pansy and Glorio. Some have said that it is. It's not.
If anything, Daima is a compliment to GT. You've taken the concept of them being kids. You've taken a red dragon. You've taken Super Saiyan 4. The only thing, you've got a new set of Dragon Balls. Like the Black Star Dragon Balls aren't here, but you've got a new set of Dragon Balls. If anything, this is almost treat it like a love letter to GT in a way. Like, don't say that they can't coexist. they can't coexist in one continuity, but they still both exist and they always will. I don't get the mentality why you have to pick one over the other. I don't understand that.
I think Dragon Ball fans are oftentimes, and this is a pet peeve of mine, they're oftentimes too cynical. They're always kind of negative about shit. And I just have grown to a time in my life where we can criticize things, but being negative all the time, like, I don't think that Daima is ever going to completely erase GT. Like, and Jay already went over that. Zay Vicious says they should do Dragon Ball Tales, stories from different universes, past, what ifs, explore new ideas. Agree with all of this. And you want to know why they don't do it? Because of Shueisha and Toei. That's why. Because they're fuckheads. So J. Dot says, after seeing episode 19, I'm 80% sure Daima's multiverse.
It could be, but I don't think so because they've acknowledged the Kais from the other universes. I just said that.
Yeah, but in his defense, he sent this at 12:43 a.m. So maybe it was, it might have been before you said it. But,
right.
Okay. You know what, man? Think whatever you want. I've been answering this question now since September on every single stream. Like, literally, I don't think there's a single stream that goes by that I don't get asked about this. And before this, it was Super Saiyan 4. Now, again, I'm not bitching about answering questions, but it's like, do you just tune into one stream and then never come back? Am I that boring? Or do you just not watch the videos, just go to the stream and you pay your super chat just to ask me a question quickly? If that's the case, fine. You know, I'm not against that, but it's like, we've talked about this to death. Like, it's not like this is a new question, you know, but okay, believe what you want to believe, bro. I think I'm through trying to convince people, dude. I really am. Calvin Rump says, I think Daima will branch off from. It's
like every second super chat is a question about the timelines and the alternate universes. Guys, I hope I can answer all your questions. Dragon Ball, Z, and Super.
They're trying to get me to kill myself, bro. That's what I think.
Daima. Look, just think about it, guys. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Daima, Dragon Ball Super. If you want to look at that as the main timeline, the Toriyama timeline, do that. And then everything else is a side story or a different dimension. It's really not hard to wrap your brains around.
Jay, I want to ask you a question. I want you to tell me if it logically makes any sense. They're taking ideas from GT that Toriyama had limited involvement in, making a new series where Toriyama has more involvement in it, and they're going to make it non-canon. How the fuck does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
I don't understand people. Like, this is the most logical and simple shit. You're working with the original creator, the guy who created the canon, as they say, the manga, and you're going to have him write a non-canon story? I just, like, this is...
Hopefully Toyotaro will translate this into manga form, and then people can stop talking about it, because then we can just be like, read the books. That's the main timeline.
Honestly, bro, I told you this before. I hope it's not in the same canon, dead ass, because then I can make my fucking video and say there is no
how
canon.
dumb canon is.
Yeah, then I can really fucking hammer that point home.
You know what video I love? I won't go on a tangent because I know we're going to answer these super chats. The snippet of Dragon Ball Superheroes, where Dragon Ball Heroes Superheroes, where Goku fights Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku in his Ultra Instinct form. You remember the days where everyone was like, nah, Super Saiyan 4 is weaker than Super Saiyan God. And then you watch that, and I know it's a different timeline and it's a video game promotional material. Yeah, but it's just like, that is hilarious. I laughed my ass off because I was like, well, I guess you were wrong about Super Saiyan 4 being weaker than Super Saiyan God, weren't you?
I mean, it
took Mastered UI to knock him out.
Yeah, Heroes breaks the rules, bro, like all the time. But Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 is an upgrade from the GT Super Saiyan
100%, yeah.
100%. SM21 Gaming, gotta admit the consistency and the quality of animation has been top tier. Remember certain Super frames? Yes, it has. Way more consistent than Super. I'm so glad you didn't ask me a question about the fucking canon, bro. Willie's Beats. Hey, Geekdom, why don't get SS4 Vegeta in episode 19? If it's as simple as Neva giving him a power-up, it seems kind of like... I don't know if you meant to type more after that, bro, because I don't see anything else after that. But I think he's asking why didn't they give Vegeta Super Saiyan 4? I think you answered that earlier because it's always the Goku show.
Well, no, it's just I don't know. Like I feel like they could have done it. They don't need to. Vegeta's already got Super Saiyan 4 anyway. But like that, I feel like never doing it to both Goku and Vegeta is this. It's just I think it only has to be done to one of them to be like successful. But yeah, it is kind of plot armor in a way.
I would have given it to both of them just so that way it can create an even crazier fight with both of them fucking flying around. You know?
It would have kept everyone happy, probably including myself, because I kind of have eye roll moments. Like I don't get upset other than like I'll have a brief moment where I'm pissed off at like, yep, I knew I was right. They gave Vegeta a form and now they give Goku another form, even though Vegeta's already got this form anyway. But it's kind of like, it kind of is predictable. I've said in the past, predictable's not always bad, but I don't like predictable. The fact I don't know who's going to fuse with the fusion bugs, I like that. That's good. It's predictable that they're going to use the fusion bugs, but I like that I don't know who's going to use them. Yeah,
it's predictable they're going to win the fight at the end, but we don't know how. Exactly. I actually want to real quick, before I get to the next question here, here we go. All right. This is the Vegeta Final Flash scene. Good Lord, this is beautiful. This is actually my favorite Final Flash. I think this one may have beat the Cell one just because of how awesome it looks. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can. We didn't get to see this character go, oh shit, though.
That's true. But look at this, bro. Look at the intensity, bro. Horikawa blew his fucking throat out doing this shit. Again, if you're watching this on replay, I may have to snip this out. Upside down mouth blast, bro.
Yeah, it's giving me Dodoria flashbacks. Dodoria loved using the mouth blast and Nappa.
Well, he likes using his mouth, is what I heard. Just that. Look at this, bro. Look at it's so over the top.
I really appreciate that they gave Vegeta his own hairstyle for Super Saiyan 3. I really appreciate that.
A lot of folks don't like it.
Honestly, I didn't like it when I first saw it either, but the more I watched it, because I watched the scene a few times, and the more I see it on Vegeta, it kind of suits his hairstyle, his base hairstyle. It suits it.
Yes, because they do have different hair.
Yeah.
And then here he is, and Gomah's getting overwhelmed. I like that because his blast, Gomah's, almost looks like a Genki Dama, bro. Like with the sort of the color in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the light color. See, look at Nace fucking puts more into it, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Look, he's here.
He's sketched. That's what I mean. Vegeta won this fight, guys. The plot armor, the plot device. That's how he came back. Vegeta won that fight, 100%.
Oh, well, I mean, shit. You could think he's dead there because of the way they did, like, the animation.
Yeah.
He sent him up into the sky, bro. Look at the fuck.
But Vegeta won that fight on at least 2 occasions. But Gomah's hacks with that third eye allow him to just keep coming back.
It is the third eye, bro. It's the hack. Absolutely. I love how even when he powers down, he's fucking badass, bro. Can you imagine if someday they do Ultra Ego and they have this animation team behind it, bro? That'd be something.
Yes, bro. I'm pining to see Ultra Ego in animated form. Heck, I even want to see Ultra Ego come to Sparking Zero. I'm not confident we will because I feel like they stick to mainly anime characters in those games. But I would love if they introduce some manga. Stupid. Yeah, if Shueisha would allow characters like Granola and Moro and Ultra Ego to be in that game's numbers went like online activity would go up overnight, like because there's so many people would want to play as Ultra Ego Vegeta.
I agree with you, and that's a fact. Stephen Garner says, did you see how Dr. Arinsu looked at Majin Ku when he said, I'll stay with you? It was a sinister smile. Maybe she wants to fuck him, bro. You don't know that. Imagine she learns about Oob. I don't think she cares about Oob, bro. I think the Majins were created just to beat the Tamagamis, just to take the Dragon Balls. That's what I think that their purpose is. Beast Comatose says, I don't like how fur for SS4 stops 3/4. That's what you were talking about, right? How it doesn't go all the way up to the
way down the wrist. Yeah, it stops around the wrist. Yeah,
I think it's supposed to just look more like an ape. I don't know.
Yeah, I like I said earlier, it's no secret I prefer the GT design for Super Saiyan 4, but you know, everyone, there's elements from this Daima one that look cool, like the red on the hair looks fantastic. I'll say that.
Well, you like the yellow eyes more, right?
The GTIs look a little more unique, you know, because even in GT, Goku has, I think off memory, yellow eyes, and Vegeta has green, like Super Saiyan eyes. So there's unique touches to each of them. I like GT's designs for the character more personally. I like that the hair in GT is kind of a throwback to their base hair as well. Like Vegeta's is more of a brown color, but it's still a throwback to their base hair design. But the red hair does look cool.
Yeah, and I the kabuki thing too. It actually looks even more kabuki with Daima's version of SS4. Angel Roca says, "Do you think the Third Eye Black Frieza could beat Whis?"
What? Oh, Third Eye Black Frieza. I thought for a second that said that. I thought for a second that was that Frieza's second transformation or third form. The xenomorph. I was like, bro, are you serious? I think the Angels are kind of they're unscalable. I think the Angels. I don't think we'll ever see anyone in Super beat the Angels. That's my opinion.
You might be right about that. I thought at one time we did, but you might be right about that.
Nah.
They're very protected.
Mirus is the weakest angel we've seen, and Mirus could have defeated Moro easily if he was allowed to intervene.
He humiliated him, bro. He humiliated him. He really did. Brian Z says, Arinsu said triple donkey punch, don't come. I don't know, man. To who? To Majin Ku? Angel Barone says, or Baron, that's Barone. Do you think that Neva might be the creator of the Namekian Book of Legends? Oh, God. I think that's another question that I got. When I got that question recently, and I said, I think it was me and Jordan, and I think the answer we both came to was, I don't think he wrote the Namekian Book of Legends. I think one of the old Namekians that was on Namek, not like maybe the first ones that settled on Namek from the Demon Realm, they wrote it, not Neva.
How about this for a plot theory for the future? What if Neva created the Super Dragon Balls? I don't think so. There's going to be
People
a Namekian.
think that Zalama and him are the same person. I've seen that before.
Well, who knows, you know? But also, if that's not the case, how powerful is this other Namekian that created the Super Dragon Balls? You know, crazy power.
What if Neva a long time ago hatched an egg and that became fucking Zalama, bro? He spit
there
one
you go.
out.
Yeah,
like Piccolo does, bro. Disgusting creatures. Ronwell Nagales, it will be interesting for me to see Tien replace his third normal eyes to the tear tint Oculus.
That is so cool. I love how creative some of you are.
No, but he's right. Like, they would upgrade Tien. If you want to rebuild him as a Serious Z fighter, they could do it that way.
What are we going to do for Yamcha, though?
Bro, after the baseball episode, he's done, man. And that's too bad because I love Yamcha. I love
it's a shame because I don't even like the filler where they beat the Ginyu Force. I like filler, but I don't like that filler because it never made sense to me. I was like, how do they scale that high that quickly? They go from being weaker than fucking Nappa, then they go from being Raditz level to being able to beat Frieza's elite fighting force. I'm like, fuck off.
Yes, everything you just said. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. Some people like it because it's like the last appearance of the Ginyu Force for a while. We do see him again much later.
Yeah.
But bro, it doesn't make sense. It never made sense. Robert Gobel just joined the stream. Curious which SS4 do you both prefer, GT or Daima? I think earlier we kind of said, well, Jay, you can say however you want to say it, but I think we both agreed that the original probably is a cooler design, but the new animation complements the new one more than the old one, right? Something like that.
Yeah. I think animation and art, you have to go with Daima. Design for me, I have to go with GT. And don't forget, GT has some well-drawn art and animation for Super Saiyan 4. It's not like Super Saiyan 4 looks trash. There are some episodes where it doesn't look that great, but most of the episodes it looks awesome.
Nakatsuda worked on that show as well. I mean, he was top guy there. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the way that Super Saiyan 4 happened in GT with the Brutes waves and with like the whole pan thing versus the way Neva did it? Because Neva just kind of did this shit and Goku's got the form. And even though I like the visuals of it, it doesn't seem to have the same emotion as the original one where Pan had to get through to him.
So, for starters, GT had more build up to Super Saiyan 4, whereas in Daima it was just a complete ass pull. It was just magic from Neva. The other thing as well is the way it's obtained in GT is more of a throwback to things we've seen in Dragon Ball Z as well. Like, think back to Vegeta's initial explanation of a Super Saiyan when Goku's fighting Raccoon. There's like that golden silhouette in the background of an ape. The way that it's obtained with Brutes waves is in universe with the whole.
With what Vegeta explains to Goku when he's about to do the artificial movement.
It's all been explained in the past, and it all connects. It all works well. The Golden Uzaru, you just attribute. It doesn't even have to get explained. You just attribute the Golden Uzaru to the significant increase in their power because they're Super Saiyans. They can then use the Golden Uzaru form as well. But yeah, the whole having to rationalize yourself, that was cool. Like, it didn't make sense for Vegeta to have to re-rationalize, and Goku was what brought him back to who he was. Agreed. Maybe he was just... The dub made it sound like he was playing around, but it wasn't that way in the original Japanese dub. The English dub, they made it sound like Vegeta was just messing around. But the whole idea of the transformation in GT was you have to remember who you are as a Golden Uzaru. For Goku, that was Pan, and for Vegeta, that was Goku. And that's what triggers the Super Saiyan 4.
But what's weird, to your point, is that Vegeta already used the Grade 8 form and was able to control it. So why would he not be able to control this one? That I always thought was weird, because you would think that logically he would be able to control it and then mutate Super Saiyan 4 fast.
100%. 100%. Even Baby was able to control the Golden Uzaru. So.
And Baby was using Vegeta's body.
But there is a line there. There is a line of dialogue, actually, because Baby is a parasite. He can control mind and body regardless of what's going on. Similar to kind of rabies, man. Rabies just takes over and does what it's going to do regardless.
You comparing Baby to rabies, bro. Baby
rabies. Hey, it's not too far-fetched, man.
I've never heard that before, but I'll take it. Gazumag, Crafter of Nightmares, or Grafter of Nightmares. I don't know if that's your cosplay or what. That Gloria part had me crying like a bitch at work in the break room. Has Daima made you shed a tear? Be honest. No. Daima has not made me cry.
I shed a tear in Super when Vegeta gave his energy to Goku against Jiren. That made me shed a tear.
No, what made me shed a tear was that Cobra Kai finale last week. That made me shed a tear, bro. But Daima, nah, not yet anyways.
Or we have one Vegeta sacrificing himself against Majin Buu. That's another one.
You cried during that? Or not cried, but you had a teary eye?
I've had a tear over that. Mainly from the Kai score, because the Sumitomo score for that was next level. It was great.
I got to listen to it because I don't think or maybe I did hear it and I forgot. Yeah. I haven't heard it in a while. So, is that your phone? Someone saying
it was. Sorry. No, it's all right. I can't put it on silent because then I can't hear what anyone's saying. So
right. Calvin Rump says Daima could follow in the same path as GT. How?
What?
How?
I don't get that.
He thinks that Daima and GT, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but based on the question, he thinks that Daima and GT can be in the same continuity, which is literally impossible.
No, it can't happen.
I don't know if you're asking that, bro. I would maybe clarify it later in the chat. Cody Blask says the SH Figure Arts has confirmed Super Saiyan 4 is the actual name. Yes, I know. I showed it earlier. I showed everybody that earlier. And I told you in multiple videos and multiple streams that's what it's called. But what do I know? I only answer the same question 1,000 times a week. Listen, when you're in these streams and somebody else asks a question, right? maybe that's the question you wanted to ask, but they already asked it, so you don't have to ask it. But if you want to ask it, you can. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Corey says, could Monster Carrot one-shot Goma? I don't think so. I don't think that magic's going to beat the third eye, bro.
Mate, he's still hanging out on the moon, so.
Right.
And the moon got blown up.
It got blown up, so he's floating around in space somewhere is what Toriyama said. Saw a fan animation and Vegeta used Hakai on Black Frieza and it didn't work. Could you two imagine that shit somewhere bleeding into our storyline? Yes.
Well, haven't we already saw Frieza kind of nerfed the destruction energy in Super before the Tournament of Power? He was able to not be destroyed by it.
Wait, say it again.
In the prior to the Tournament of Power, Frieza was able to nerf the destruction energy that was used on him.
From Sidra, right, or whatever.
Yeah, yep. From the Sidra, the God of Destruction from Universe 9. He actually nerfed it and he gave it back. He put it on Goku. So
that's a big deal.
So if he can do that there, I can't imagine what Black Frieza can do.
Jada says it was Goku going SS4 again after becoming an adult that convinced me. Same with Vegeta going back to SS3 as if it's his preference. Explain that. Dude, how many times am I going to explain this to you, dude? How many times am I going to explain this? I explained it yesterday. I explained it 2 days ago. I explained it on Sunday. I explained it on Monday. We explained it earlier in this stream, dude. But you know what? You're submitting a super chat, so I'll explain it to you again. Goku cannot access Super Saiyan 4 without magic. He clearly cannot use magic in the years after Daima, and Vegeta has no reason to use Super Saiyan 3 if it drains too much energy. There's your answer, bro, for the 7,000th time. I know I sound like I'm annoyed, but it's
look at
how many videos, dude. I talked about this in September. Like, how many videos am I going to make on this?
Vegeta's probably only using it in Daima because he's just obtained it and he's showing off he can use it. He's quickly realizing that it has its limits, just like Goku does.
Not just that, but he's gonna try and beat his ass as fast as he can with the strongest form.
Yeah.
But then later he's like, no, fuck this. The drawback's not worth it. Like it's just. Like I said, I know I sound like I'm frustrating. Look, another one. Right? Like, how many times, dude?
We just have to. Yeah, we've already answered it in the prior.
How many times have we answered it, bro? Like, people will buy old and new stuff, new SS4. LOL.
100%, man. 100%.
Yes. Carlos Vasquez says, "I'm going to miss Golirio."
Did he do that on purpose, like Goku?
I think he did. I think he did. Pansy and Arinzu's Dragon Balls. Love your content. Thank you, Carlos. And I'm going to miss Daima too because it was fun. What would you like to see if Super returns? Another question that I've gotten a lot. But how about this? I want a good story arc and I want to enjoy Dragon Ball. I feel like a kid again.
Yeah, I want Black Frieza because, I think that's what everyone wants. That's what everyone wants is Black Frieza.
David Ortiz says SS5 is going to be SS4 with MUI. Have a video coming out about that on Monday. So stay tuned for that.
Not going to lie, that'd be pretty sick, actually. just from a fan perspective, not in-universe explanation. It'd make no sense, but from a fan perspective, that'd be pretty cool.
I agree. All right, Jason Zeno Gomez. I love how Gohan Beast and Vegeta's hair are so similar, and once again, not so Final Flash, even though really Vegeta got the dub. Yes, Jay talked about that earlier. Vegeta did get the dub, but the third eye saved him. If it wasn't for that third eye, bro, Goma would have probably got smoked by, you know what, bro, probably Super Saiyan, maybe base Vegeta. You know what? I think base or Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta would have beat
as a kid as well.
Possibly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's stronger than the fake Ginyu Force. That you know what? That's actually my biggest criticism of Daima. Those characters were wasted, bro.
They were a waste of time.
That was a waste of time. Yeah, that to me, if there's one thing, if somebody were to say what's your favorite and least favorite thing that Daima added, favorite is Tamagamis because I love the way they look. Least favorite is those fake Ginyu Force guys. They don't work for me, bro. It just doesn't work. Tyler Maid, hope you're both good. I'm great. How do you deal with the morons online? I see the shit you have to deal with. I don't know how fans don't get DB, LOL. PS, thanks for all that you and Vegeta folding was gold. Vegeta folding Goma or getting folded?
I don't know, either one.
As far as what Tyler's saying, go ahead, bro. You go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying that I think some of these people who ask these questions, they're either casual fans of the show, they don't watch it religiously like we do, or they might even be younger people. You have to remember, like, I remember when I was, 6, 7, 8, and I was into the show, I probably thought lots of silly things about the show too, and had random thoughts about what Super Saiyan 6 and 7 and 5 would look like. Like, you don't think about that stuff when you know what you're talking about. But I don't want to sound condescending, but maybe these people just don't watch the show that often. I don't know.
Well, that's one thing, but also specifically with this stream, I've answered the same questions. Every few super chats, I get the same question again. Now, I understand that people are coming in late. I'm not upset about that. I get that. People got lives. I'm not even going to try and force them to. That's fine. I'm just saying that this is not something that I've never answered before. And I've done streams every weekend going back to when Daima started. And I've talked about this in numerous videos. And when somebody asks me a question that I've already answered in a video, it can be frustrating because I sit here and I'm like, why am I even making videos then? Like the answers are there. I don't know if they're trying to get the shortcut response or not. I get it if they are, but I literally said going all the way back to the first Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 video where I revealed it was coming, the first one, September 9th, 2024, I said, he's probably not going to use it. I go, you're probably wondering why he never used it against Beerus. And I go into the whole explanation in that video. And then I go into the explanation again in the episode 12 breakdown. And then I go into the explanation again. So it's like I'm repeating myself. And I hate repeating myself, but at the same time, it's not like I just said it once and never again. It's like multiple videos with plenty of opportunities for people to see it. So that does get frustrating. And I won't lie, it can get frustrating just because, like, I don't know how else to communicate this with people, man. Like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
There's nothing you can do. You just move on. You've answered it.
Sheppel says, thoughts on Neva SS4 amping the fusion itself or amping Vegeta once Goku SS4 starts to lose for a 2v1 SS4 Goku and Vegeta finishing him off. Don't know if we're going to see that. Jay, what do you think?
Wishful thinking. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry.
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think it's going to happen. The fusion is happening. But it might not be the fusion people are expecting, but they may end up actually enjoying it. I guess we'll see. Joe Madre, what confuses me is that the arm fur ending on his waist like a sleeve instead of ending at his wrist, not his waist. I'm sorry, at his wrist like a sleeve instead of the back of his hands make him look less like an ape. Yeah, it almost feels like Goku's like wearing a long sleeve shirt and like rolling his sleeves up. Like he's washing dishes. What do you think about that?
That's one of the things I'm critical about with the forms designers. I prefer the fur to go right down to his hands, not end at his wrist.
Right. Dusk Shinobi says, hi, Geekdom. Much love, and I appreciate your reviews and breakdowns. Thank you for Daima. Daima as a series was so good. I will never understand how people appreciate Daima. You mean don't appreciate Daima? Because you said it was good. Well, I think a lot of people were turned off by the kids thing, which I get. I totally get it. But I kept saying, just wait and see for it to come out. What if you like it? Like, maybe it's a maturity thing. Because I turned 40 last year, so like a lot of the people getting into Dragon Ball now are a bunch of teenagers, and I just feel like they're the problem now with people is that they're very, very emotionally stunted and overly emotional. So the minute they see something that doesn't make sense to them or something that they don't like, they freak out. Oh, this fucking sucks. It's How do you know? Just, this fucking looks horrible. It's fucking.
Yeah.
Can you wait and see? And then, oh, you know what? That was pretty dope, bro. And it's like, maybe because I'm an older guy, I can't be that guy anymore, bro. I was that guy when I was 25.
They've already come out and stated in Japan that this show was aimed at fathers watching this show with their kids to get their kids. They're trying to get a new generation of Japanese children into Dragon Ball. That's already been stated.
Yeah. And it's an anniversary series, too. It wasn't intended to be an anniversary series originally, but it wound up becoming one based on the schedule. Thank you, Zach. Excuse me. Are we done? I'm scrolling. I hope. Well, no, we got more. Bro, these never end. Where is our Daima Kakarot DLC? Bro, ask Bandai.
There was actually, if you go on Twitter and you follow certain people on Twitter, there is people who have given a release date for it through. It might have been VJump. There was an article on it. You have to go looking on Twitter for it, though. I can't remember who it was that released it. But I thought they did give a release date for the DLC for Kakarot and for Sparking Zero as well. Like Sparking Zero, we've already got Kid Goku from Daima. But yeah, just have a look on Twitter. I think the information's on.
If I type Dragon Ball Kakarot DLC, Janemba 3000 did a video on it, but Daima Part 1 DLC releases next year, which is this year. Yeah, most of the stuff I see is just... Yeah, people seem to be asking about this. Our Kakarot, I'm just looking right now, like literally right now live, to see if there's an answer. When does the Dragon Ball Daima DLC come out? Because I don't know if they've actually, if you're right, Jay, that there's a release date, it must have just come out this week because I don't see anything here at all.
I could be wrong.
Well, some are speculating that it's going to be, they're waiting for the dub, but I don't think so. Because that's not really related. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. Robert Goabel, thank you, gentlemen, for answering my question. Can't wait to see what happens in the last episode. Me too. They have to cram a lot in there. Sloppy Joe says, I love it. Daima feels like a tribute to all fans. It does, and that was the point, yes. Nick says, how do you think Magic and Daima would scale against God of Destruction Power? Nah, man. I think Beerus would wipe out almost everybody, or maybe everybody. I don't know about Third Eye, but I think Beerus would outdo everyone. What do you think?
Beerus is scaled so high, even in Super to this day, that Ultra Ego Vegeta can't beat Beerus. So I don't think there's a chance anyone in Daima, even with the Third Eye, would beat Beerus. I feel like Beerus could Hakai King Gomah. Like, I really feel
Could he Hakai the entire demon realm, bro, and just fucking say, you're out of here?
I don't know about, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a power scaler, so you're asking the wrong person. But I definitely think Beerus is, there's not anyone in Daima that can touch Beerus. You know, this is set before Super at the end of the day. So we know Dragon Ball's linear in that what comes after is usually stronger. People overthink things sometimes. You know, it's like the Deborah versus Cell debate. For me, Deborah was always stronger because if you factor in he's around perfect Cell, super perfect Cell, he's also got magic. Everything's linear. Whatever comes after is usually stronger.
Yeah, in Cell's case, I think the regeneration could be a problem for Deborah, but the spit can even the odds. I did a whole video about that, so there is a video I covered that. David Ortiz, SS4 should be the true Saiyan God form. SSG is just Goku and God Ki. Same with SSB. SS4 should be the true Ascension requirement, tail, and automatic God Ki. Yeah, but they don't have God Ki, bro. Like, you're saying it should be, right? I understand that. But Vegeta and Piccolo were able to sense Goku. It's definitely not God Ki. They can't, David, they can't just go back and change the, well, then again, they fucking can because they always do. I was going to say they can't change the lore, but they can change the lore. You know what I mean? Like, they can. They absolutely can. So expect the unexpected. Brandon Hanner said you should clip yourself explaining things that people ask multiple times and play the clip on stream when asked again. That's not a bad idea. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how that would work.
I would have to clip it and then upload it to StreamYard and then just play it like I did the song earlier.
All right.
That's not a bad idea. Brian Z said, what are the chance of the fusion Goklorio? I guess he means Goku and Glorio. It's possible.
Yeah, I see
it's possible. I like this one, bro. 40 and no girl. Bro, you have no idea who I fuck, who I'm with, if I fuck.
I've known Danny for 10 years, and he's had multiple partners in that 10 years. So.
But no, that's not true, Jay. I paid you to say that. Okay. Not everybody's a virgin like you, Beaming Coon. I might be your father for all we know. Calvin says Daima better than GT. I hope replace it. Bite me. Well, I'm not gonna bite you, and it's not gonna replace it, but maybe for some people it will. I don't know. Dust Shinobi, I'm sorry. I meant to say people do not appreciate Daima. Also, my friend from work likes the whole series. Everyone's different. I think these last couple of episodes are going to bring a lot of the fans back into it. But I have one friend who did not care about Daima, but after last week is now watching the whole thing again. This is why Toei should have promoted it a little bit better to get people into it more. I'm not saying show Super Saiyan 4, but I think they should have shown a tail in the trailer and just left it at that so people can speculate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I just think the Super Saiyan 4 thing for me, I needed time to reflect on it. So I was pissed last week when it came out for two reasons.
Yes, you were.
For two reasons. GT, it's another idea stolen from GT, which I didn't like.
But Nakatsuru's on both shows, so he probably was.
I know, happy. But
the way he sees it, Toriyama's his mentor, so he's like, "Fuck it, let's work on it together."
Yeah, no, look, I didn't like it being introduced. I can understand people being excited for it, and there are elements I like it, but it's not going to ruin Daima for me. But yeah, like I think Daima could have done without Super Saiyan 4 completely. In my opinion,
I agree with you. I think it could have, but I think part of the reason it was made is to justify bringing Super Saiyan 4 back. Yeah. And that's legit. Officer Rogue Ent, do you think Goku and Vegeta will get some type of new form or power up to go against Black Frieza since he one-shotted their new forms? I really hope not. No more new forms, dude.
I just think we'll get forms. Vegeta will refine his Ultra Ego more, and
I hope so.
Yeah, Goku will obviously is pretty far advanced with his Ultra Instinct, but I think we'll probably see a fusion again with, them using some sort of hybrid Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct. I don't know. I'm guessing. Or Vegeta will get the kill, as he rightfully should, over the person who basically controlled him since he was a child.
Yeah, everything you just said. Isaiah Alvarez, what would you think about a spinoff but focused on Trunks after End of Z, Galactic Patrolman Trunks, a sequel to Jocko, or an idea to split them up? A Trunks and Jocko adventure, I think, would actually be pretty refreshing, especially if Jocko wants to goof off and Trunks wants to take it seriously. That's almost like a buddy cop movie that you never thought you would want. And if written properly, it'd be awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see it. I like Jocko. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this.
If you have a funny writer, it could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could. Jocko is someone that I enjoy in the manga and the anime, but I don't want him to overstay his welcome either. I feel like Jocko is a goofy character that you can put in scenes or in, you gave him a one-shot manga already. I don't feel like he needs any more stories personally, but that's just me.
Right. I agree with that for sure. What the hell is that? Okay. David Ortiz said, God Key isn't the end all. Goku got beat with God Key. Correct. Jiren beat him. Others have beat him. Riddle Breaker said, need to bring back separate story movies. I'm over tie-in movies. Other world stories were the best. Daima movie revisit in the future would be cool. I'm not sure what he means by other. Oh, I know what he means. He's talking about bringing back the Dragon Ball Z style movies that were not part of the main continuity.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ever going to do that again, bro. That was a 90s thing.
Yeah, Dragon Ball's marketed very differently these days.
Harshal Dave says, how the hell are you 40, bro? I'm 27 and you look younger than me. What's the secret? Were you a Saiyan all along? No, I don't drink or smoke. That's the secret. I do not drink. I do not smoke. And I may be immortal. We'll find out. Go says, that's lame to be worried about a grown man's love life. Love the content. Yeah, I saw him earlier. He was like, I was just asking. No, you were assuming. You said 40 and no girl. But even if I was 40 and had no girl, why is that a problem? Like, why do you care where I put my dick? Like, I've never understood people's like obsession with like YouTubers who they're fucking. I don't give a fuck who's fucking anybody.
Relationships are hard work. Not everyone wants to be in a relationship.
Exactly. Not everyone wants kids either, bro. It's just that's just how it is. Ouroboros Snake pitch. Tarbell's wife is kidnapped, so he uses new Dragon Balls to get Rigor like strong and tall and removes the Saiyans from the moment of their destruction and becomes king of the Saiyans versus Sea Fighters. What do you think? Why would Tarbell do that? I don't know. What would be Tarbell's motivation to do that?
I don't know. I'm still processing all of that information. I don't think we'll see Tarbell again. I think Tarbell was only ever going to show up in Yo Son Goku and Friends in video games. I don't think we'll see him again.
We might not. You might be right. I don't know what we're going to see again. Shit. But let me try it again. Tarbell's wife is kidnapped, so he uses new Dragon Balls to get Rigor like strong and tall and removes the Saiyans from the moment of their destruction and becomes king of Saiyans versus Z Fighters. I don't know if he's saying that Tarbell will turn evil and attack the Earth, or if he's going to bring Rigor back or something and he attacks the Earth.
Here's the thing, though. Tarbell is not a fighter. He's one of the Saiyans who doesn't like fighting, so it's not in his character to want to do something like that.
Yeah, it's not like that. The way I see it, if Tarbell's wife does get kidnapped and it's from somebody who he can't take, he's going to go right to his big brother. Yeah.
Tarbell was outcast for the fact that he was supposed to be born an elite and he's basically a low class Saiyan.
Yeah.
That's why
however, I won't lie. I would like it if Tarbell did it. Like, part of his story would be cool. His wife gets kidnapped. He goes to Vegeta for help. And then Vegeta and Tarbell together go rescue the wife. That could be a fun little TV special.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like Tarbell, this is my opinion, I feel like Tarbell's dynamic has kind of been replaced with Kaba. I feel like Kaba kind of plays the little brother role to Vegeta now. Even though Tarbell's still mentioned in Dragon Ball Super, I feel like Kaba has replaced that role now. He's got like a little brother role.
Right. Yeah, that's... Kaba's almost like a combination of like his little brother and his son. It's that type of relationship. Alan Neves, do you think Zalama and Neva are equal? We don't know much about Zalama, bro. Like, all we know is he made the Super Dragon Balls. So in theory, you would think Zalama's more powerful, but we've also seen Neva do shit that we never thought was possible. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I don't have enough information on Zalama, but I think Zalama, based on the fact he's built Dragon Balls that take up, entire universes, or they spread over entire universes, and the size of them, I feel like that's got to be some show of power, that he's created Dragon Balls the size of planets. That says something about his power to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. We just don't know enough about him, man.
Yeah.
Like, I oftentimes get questions about like Yamoshi and people like that, like Yamoshi or Rymus, well, nowadays, or Zalama, and we don't know anything. Like, Toriyama gave us so little. There's so much potential there, and yet so little actual information.
100%, yeah.
He's a lore master, Toriyama, but he doesn't seem to complete his own lore. Khan JKJ, don't know if this has been asked, but What do you think of Hybe's comment about saying these guys seem more Majin, referring to Vegeta and Goku foreshadowing? Maybe we did answer that earlier, bro. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah,
He let the generous super chat, so we should give him an answer.
I think it was like a joke. Hybis was being funny or comical. And
well, he's an idiot too.
Yeah, and Vegeta, he's a gag character, really. And Vegeta is, Vegeta and Goku we know are from Planet Vegeta, and then prior to that we're from Planet Plant. So that's already an in-universe explanation that they are from a world outside the demon realm. That would be a retcon. That would be a retcon if they changed that, in my opinion.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, everything he said. Geetham kind of got asshole energy. I do. No, I thought I was a nice guy.
If you did this for a job, when I had 10, but I can't remember how many subs I had, between 10 and 15,000, and I think I had 12 maybe. But if you did this for a job, even at 12,000 subs, I was fed up with the amount of bullshit I had to deal with in the comment section. Like, you don't mean to come across condescending or an asshole sometimes, but you have to answer the same question over and over again and deal with. Not everyone is this way, but you meet a lot of assholes. There's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of assholes as well. You tend to get a little you get some asshole energy back because, you're not just going to sit there and take it. So,
well, I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I do have asshole energy. I mean, I've always had asshole energy. It's because you want to know why I have asshole energy, bro? Because the world is fucking hard, and people will fuck you over and take shit from you if you don't have asshole energy. Yeah. And honestly, bro, I was much more of an asshole a few years ago, much more, but I was also a lot nicer to people. Now I think that I'm nicer to people in general. I'm more tolerant, but I'm more of an asshole to people who piss me off. Yeah. So. But I'm not talking about the YouTube. I'm not talking about the YouTube commenters right now. I'm talking about in general. Yeah, I'm not upset at any of this. I'm just surprised that I've had to answer this Vegeta question about 10 times or more than that in the past week. That's it. It's just weird to me.
I would challenge anyone to have a channel with around 1 million subs and struggle to not get frustrated with things in the comments. That you don't let it get to you. You ignore it, but internally you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I challenge anyone to go through that.
No, it's hard. I mean, it requires a lot of patience and energy. Shadow Dragon should be canon next. I did a video where I talked about how to make them linked to the Super Dragon Balls. I think the video is called Shadow Dragons in Dragon Ball Super. Look that up. We've had this whole story. We just did this whole thing. Thank you, Robbie Booker. All right, I gotta let y'all know. No more questions. We've been here for almost 3 hours. I don't want to take up any more.
I have to go make pizza.
Yeah, he's got to go. No more super chats, please. We're closing up for the night. I'm gonna get the last ones left here. Black Heisenberg, and then we got another one. Black Heisenberg says, half the fandom just wants to goon to Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct, and Beast Gohan. Now that Glorio's fired, where do I submit my application to a recruit?
That's funny.
And then this guy said, I want your sloppy seconds. Jesus, man.
Bro, what the hell?
Jay, there was a guy last night who sent 4 super chats saying he wanted me to shit on his chest.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
What do you think the name of the new fusion will be? Well, that would be giving away what I think it is. I don't know, man. I that's a tough. I'm gonna repeat what I said before. People think that it's Goku and Vegeta, and it might not be. That's what I'm saying. It might not be.
What he's saying is read between the lines.
Yeah. Riddle Breaker says, think we'll ever get other universe spinoffs? Bro, these are all things I've been talking about for 6-7 years. Honestly, bro, if you want me to be honest with you, do I want it? Yes. Will we get it? No. You want to know why we won't get it? Because Shueisha is a piece of shit fucking company. That's why. Any anger you have about the treatment of Dragon Ball, direct it right at Shueisha, bro. They're the ones that are causing this pain. Official Rogan, how would they incorporate SS4 into Super going forward? How would they write in their tails coming back, make their final forms SS4 with UI and UE. The tails are part of the transformation.
Yeah.
So that's going to come with the package. The video I have coming out on Monday is going to go into how they can use Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct to where it makes sense. I'm not saying it's going to happen, though. I'm not saying it's a guarantee to happen. I'm saying if they do it, it is possible with some lore-like explanations. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. And I think, yeah, it can be written into Super, but at the moment we don't want it to be written into Super. We just want Daima to finish and we can absorb everything, then go from there.
Well, yeah, and the other truth is, is we do not know when the fuck the Super manga is going to continue. They didn't announce anything for March, so probably nothing for March. We may be hitting another Dragon Ball drought now, which I'm pissed off about, but it is what it is. Okay, please, no more Super Chats, okay? I don't want to have to leave the stream. You send a Super Chat and I can't answer your question. I want to answer everyone's questions. Thank you, Beaming Coon, for the subscription. This is the last Super Chat, okay? If you send one in after this, I'm not answering it because I can't hold Jay forever. He says, someone on Reddit predicted SS4. It came true. Bro, a lot of people predicted SS4.
And I'm happy to put my hand up and say I was wrong because I would have been the people saying, no, I think I know the show enough to know that they're not going to put a transformation from another timeline or universe into Daima. I was wrong. You know, they brought Broly back. Now they've done this. Nothing would surprise me with Dragon Ball anymore after they've done this now.
Let me address this. He says, keep in mind fans ask the same question over and over again because they don't know, not because they want to be annoying. I'm not accusing them of being annoying. I'm telling you that I have answers to these questions going back to September, which was 6 months ago. I'm not upset about it. I'm confused because I would assume that by now someone would have heard me talk about it either on a video or on a stream. Like, that's why it's confusing to me, because I'll literally get a super chat that I answered like 10 minutes earlier. Now, obviously people show up late. I'm going to repeat myself again, but I have other streams where I answered the same question. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's confusing to me that people have missed me answering that so much when I've answered it so much. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like 100%. It's not like I answered it once. I answered it like 30 times, and it's like you missed all 30. I mean, I guess I get it, especially if you're new, but it's also weird to me.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
There you go. So anyways, that's it. Anyways, Jay, thanks so much for spending time with me, bro.
All right.
I did not mean to keep you for 3 hours. I'm actually tired. I'm gonna stream on Game Over, Jesse. What's up? I'm gonna stream on Twitch tomorrow, and I will be back Sunday. I'll be back Sunday, guys, with another. Well, I might be back Sunday with another Super Magic show, talking more about this and previewing the next episode. It should be a fun time. Jay, if we can figure out a time for you to come back, I would like you to come back, bro.
Absolutely, yeah. Usually this time slot's pretty good for me. I understand it won't always work for you, but
yeah, it depends.
I'm very busy man, Monday to Fridays, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. Well, fortunately and unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's always good to stay busy, bro. It's always good to stay busy, stay hungry.
I'm someone who, if I didn't have to work and I made it big with my crypto, I would happily go to gym and do Dragon Ball side content for a living and have no concerns about doing that.
So like I said, I'm the opposite. If I was like at that, well, okay. I'm at the, and I've said this before, I'm at the point now where I can retire, but because of inflation, I don't feel comfortable retiring yet. So I want to do this a little bit more. But with Shueisha and their fucking bullshit and them not continuing Dragon Ball, I mean, like I said, man, oh God, it's It's so annoying, dude. Like, it's so annoying that we have to sit here and put up with that shit. And Toriyama, like, it's so disrespectful to Toriyama that they're fighting over that. Just fucking let Akio do his thing and you do your thing. We make money. Like,
Yep.
it's but I will say this in their defense. I also am not in those meetings. So who knows what's really going on?
Yeah, we'll see.
You know.
I reckon we'll get more
anyways,
content soon.
Jay, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks everybody. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat. I apologize. I'm getting sick, bro. I'm thinking about taking Sunday off, bro. But anyways, have a good one, all right? Take care of yourself and each other. Thank you for the patience and the generosity. And we'll be together forever if you want me. If not, then cast me aside like like some people have. All right. Anyways, take care of yourself, y'all. Stay healthy. I'll see you soon.